I don't know.
Is it on?
It looked like it's on though.
Did I get your, I think I got your,
Yeah, 'cause I think somebody else said they think they look like their live be bugging out sometimes when you're trying to put on a live, but yeah, look like you got it right now. 'Cause that's what it used to look like, yeah.
and he didn't have to fight with it this
They didn't have
time?
to fight.
Well,
Normally it's a boxing match between
fighting,
you
but I
and
was
your,
quiet.
you were winning slowly
You
and
were
quietly.
There it
Round
is, yeah,
one.
that's it, that gotta be it, look. That hit, boom, that's it.
I think it's on. Let me see. And we can see it on here too.
Hit live.
Let me see.
You go right here, hit look live.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I do. And then whenever it's live, it'll show.
Yeah.
Hit you.
I think we on, brothers. Let me see.
There you go, hit live, hit it. No?
No, I should make up the news.
No? Because that's everything that's live right now. But maybe when you go
I
back.
think we live. I see it on the other phone.
Okay.
I know Shabra Yahweh, Shalom, sister, Shalom.
Oh, shalom, shalom, sis.
Yeah, just bear with us. We just trying to.
Is that yours?
Shalom.
She be on Harry Red.
Hmm?
Is that yours?
No. No.
She, man, she on before you went live.
Yeah.
About to be.
I'm thinking it.
You
I'm
about to
thinking
be,
it.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
thinking it sort of probably kind of is.
Yeah.
There we
You
go.
got her eye on that man.
One.
I'll go ahead and press play on mine, brother. I'm going to.
Make sure the volume good. Let the volume good. Look like that just in case. I can't see it, or
Yeah.
oh, there you go. It's late. Good time. I can see the right here the comments. It should be showing up on there, but it's not.
I think it's just slow
Starting to
flagging.
think I was starting to think I was invisible.
No,
I'm like, now I know I sat down.
That's how I said tip. Just push it that way a little bit more. That way it can get you in. Just like that. Like that.
Just a tad.
Just a tad bit.
Yeah, just a little bit up.
There you go, dude. Ooh. Yeah. But yeah, we are the true Hebrew Israelites. Yep, we come in week and week out, prophesy the downfall of America, the hopes of the elect being sealed, and 2/3 of our people will have to punish with Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man in this captivity, this place that's known as our place of our captivity, of our judgment, right? And the Lord is going to basically deliver the elect, the 1/3,
It's on there.
right?
See if I can find it.
And that's basically the hopes. The hopes is to get on those chariots, get out of here, and it's looking promising, right? So, return. I think that's east, right?
Go that way.
That
Yeah,
way?
yeah, we just turn that way.
Yeah, face east, yeah. And give all praises, and honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Yeah. Give double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and do well, to the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to you Israelite foreigners, who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom, To your
Shalom.
sisters, you Aquathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. We are coming back once again. And, you know, we're going to get started because basically the thing right now is those riots and, of course, the war between Israel and Iran, right? Which all this is looking promising towards Jacob's trouble, which ultimately is everybody's trouble, right? Which is going to bring in the hour of temptation, which is going to bring in the Karagma, right? The MOTB, right? And yeah, and then World War III, because the MOTB has to come first before World War III. So we see him with what DJ Trump is doing, right? He's putting a remix on society, man. He really is being a DJ, right? He's
Right.
putting a remix on society, right? Real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Said Puff Daddy was the king of remix, but now he put him in
Right.
jail,
Now-
and he come out. He's the king of Trump is the king of remix now, man. So he's changing up the laws. He's doing all sorts of things, man. Right? Putting things so he can put decrees and things out, and then he's even passing, going past the so-called laws of the land, which really there ain't no laws of the land. You know what I mean? Because everybody's speaking about he went directly over the governor of California and brought in the National Guard. Well, the reason why he could do that is because they signed over their rights to the WHO. Right? So America is no longer a country, right? So we see all these.
It's a corporation.
Well, it's not even a corporation anymore because they signed over all their power to the WHO, to the World Health Organization. So that's why they're about to bring in that. That's why they slowly but surely bringing up COVID all over again, even though people are fully aware that was the scamdemic, right?
Right.
So, but it's something that worked. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. They're gonna bring it in again. So,
That precept.
can you get? Oh, go ahead.
It's Isaiah 10:1. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness
Oh yeah, that was
which they have prescribed."
yeah. Come. Yeah. Because that's ultimately what they're doing, man. They're bringing in these different laws and statutes and things like that, because that's the reason why they're having the protests. They're calling them no kings, but you know this is the left-right paradigm, what they're really bringing in, because George Soros is a so-called Jewish, right? JOO, and he's funding the so-called left, right, which is supposed to be the Democrats, and then Trump is supposed to be the Republican, who's supposed to be these the good cop, right? How they play it,
Yeah.
the good cop, bad cop, but really everything's leading you down to be slaughtered, right? Can you get that real quick? 2 Esdras 15. You got that?
You want me to keep going? I'm gonna keep going this, or you want that first?
2 Esdras 15, please.
You got it? Oh, shit, I'm here.
You are there
There
already?
you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
15 and 16?
15, no. It should be up, I think it's like 8. Or 7 or 8. Should be led to slaughter. My people are led to flock to the slaughter.
I got it.
2nd Ezra 15.
Yeah, should be 15 and 7 or 6, 15 and 8 or whatever. Go ahead, you got it.
I got it.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna start off with 7. It says, "Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness."
And see, that's ultimately what this. At the end of the day, that's really what this is, because they think this is of their own derived, their own concoction, their own creation. Esau,
Mhm.
They think that they're doing this because they have to push in this NOO, right? We have to do the Novos Ordo Seclorum and everything. We have to do it a certain, and we're gonna do it like this. And you think that it's of yourself, man, right?
Mhm.
But ultimately, no. A man's going is of the Lord, of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? Right. Go ahead.
It says, which they profanely commit. It says, neither will I suffer
Start
them.
again. Start.
It says, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness.
See, and that, yeah, exactly. And that's what the Lord is doing. He's allowing all these things to come to a head so they can push the MOTB, man. Right? And that's the Lord not holding his tongue anymore. See, as you can see, the Lord ain't gonna come down off the, I'm gonna come down like Jacob, you talking about some, I need God to tell me. God need to tell me himself. Well, guess what? He is about to tell you himself. He, you know, because Esau is about to come in, like a madman, sparing none, right?
Mhm.
You know?
Jacob already tried that.
You know what I'm saying?
What they tell, what you say, no, Moses, you tell us.
Right? What? Well, yeah, that's true too. But you know, because Esau's finna come down with great wrath, knowing that he got but a short time.
Right. Again, it says, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit.
Right, that's you, Jakes. You're committing all sorts of iniquities. That they're breaking up concrete, doing this thing, throwing bricks, rocks, going into Apple stores, rubbing up. That's iniquity. And can you get that? Unless you put forth your hand to do iniquity? It's in Psalms. It says how to go?
Yeah. They would not suffer the rod.
The rod of the wicked, unless they put forth their hand to do iniquity. Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, huh.
Again, it says, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves.
You're profane. Because now, because it tells you that says you the profane person such as Esau.
Hebrews, was it 12 and 16? It says, in which they wickedly exercise themselves.
Right.
Behold,
Because and ultimately this is exercise. Because what they're doing is he's saying little words like Trump is saying little words like insurrection, little things so they'll have a reason to lock the country down. Because think about it, how do they know to put military in every city? So if it's an insurrection or it's people, it would just be something you just popped up and did. It would be a surprise. It wouldn't be just something. These people actually literally put out a bulletin, put no King's Day, meet us here, so everybody know exactly where you're coming, so this is not no actual uprising, but they're using the word like insurrection, uprising, right?
Mhm.
Right? Can you look up that word insurrection? Definition, please, public shop. You got more than that?
Oh yeah, that's not even the points.
I think he had that one too. Can you? But
I'll keep reading. It says, behold, the innocent and righteous
mm-hmm.
blood crieth unto me, and the souls
Right,
of
the
the
innocent-
just complain continually.
the innocent righteous blood, right?
Right, and that's Israel.
Yeah, because guess what's about to happen, man? Lots of blood is about to be in the streets real soon, right?
Right,
Because they're about to bring in this military, man. This what do they call it? I looked it up because the brothers were speaking about it. It's called the 90-second palms. I think it's the 90-second palms. Military, right? They're I'm gonna say they're mercenaries,
Brigade.
but they're Marines.
A brigade.
Yeah, they're Marines. The 90-second palm. 92nd Palms Marines. Yeah. Yes, yeah, the 92nd Palms Marine Corps, right? And they were speaking about how this Marines are like, they're in like the worst place. They put their base out in the middle of nowhere, out in the desert, where they don't get no action, no nothing. And they said these are like the meanest Marines that's out there. Like these dudes don't crack a smile. They don't really get a chance to get any action, and they're looking to get a kill. They're looking to kill somebody, and they don't care if it's going to be Americans, right? So you're gonna have Jacob's trouble is going to be at the highest height. Can you read that verse first?
You want insurrection or you
No,
want?
the verse.
So, this is Psalms 125 and verse 3, and it reads, "For the rod of the wicked
Right,
shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous."
right. The rod of the wicked, which that's Esau. He's in his rulership. That's basically representing this rulership of Esau, Edom, right? And he's the wicked. The earth was given to the hands of the wicked, right? He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, and who is he? If it's not the self-proclaimed so-called white man, who in the world is the wicked, right? So the rod of the wicked is ruling, and it's, go ahead, what we're talking about?
Psalms 125 and 3, "For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous,
Uh-huh.
lest the righteous put forth their hands unto iniquity."
Right, and technically all you Israelites are meant to be the righteous. But through slavery, through all these different religions, and which that's really what led us here. So you just basically continued on worshiping idols. So you're still stuck in a perpetual state of worshiping idols. So therefore, you're putting forth your hands to do iniquity. And then Esau, it says that, what's the verse, can you get, when it says, they further the affliction? Can you get that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's ultimately what Esau has done, man. He furthered the affliction, man. Right? But that was off. But
What do you want? That was the end of that.
go back up just a little bit from where you was at. No, from the reading. No, same verse. Just
This is 125.
same verse. Yeah, same verse, but just
So, starting at verse 1, it says, "A song of decree."
no. Same verse that you was at. Same verse.
Psalms 125 and 3, "For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous."
Yeah, because that's ultimately what it is. That's our lot. That's our heritage. That's our lot. That's our heritage. And it's not supposed to rest upon you, but keep going.
Lest the righteous
Right.
put forth their hands
Right.
unto
And
iniquity.
going into a goddamn Apple store is putting your hands to do wickedness, man. You're breaking up concrete, throwing things at the Waymo, burning Waymo cars, which I know a lot of that is Esau. But the whole thing is, you Jakes have done a lot of things, and you're not innocent, right? Because you're not doing the things of the men of the Lord. You're not doing the things you ain't worshiping Yahweh Bashem Shai, man. You're almost like Esau, Yahweh in all your ways, man. You basically you're putting the ways of Yahweh behind you to beg the white man for help. And the truth has been out there, like Apostle said, 18 years now? The truth has been out there? Then you have famous people mention the truth. So you can't say it's not out there. You can't say you don't know.
As far as being on the internet, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as being on the internet, yeah. Being on an open forum where everybody can see, where it's called the worldwide internet for a reason.
Right.
Right? So the apostle's been on YouTube for more than 18 years. Right? And then you, like I said, you even had famous people mention things. Now they were saying it bugged out, but you know it's there. It has to be something more to this. You know what I mean? And the Lord used that to basically to shorten the days, right? Because now it's out there. Everybody knows. Now the Lord can bring in and says, "Hey, look, I'm no longer going to hold my tongue."
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah.
Because you're putting forth your hand to do wickedness. Now I can't help. No, you know what? Now it's judgment. Everybody knows. Now it's time for judgment.
Yeah, because they're clinging on to the wicked.
Right.
Really, you know, speaking about Esau, but our people have become
Come like
even more wicked than the wicked.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So they're you know their judgment's coming soon, and the righteous blood is crying to the Lord, man. Those that are signing, crying for the abominations done in the midst of.
Come.
I
And the Lord said that He has to start at His house.
right.
Wait, hold on.
And even in the heavens, if I could bring this real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Revelation 6 and 10, it says, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true,
Right.
dost thou not judge and avenge our blood
Oh, it could.
on them that dwell on the earth?
Right.
So yeah, you know, that's the elect, man, crying
That's
out.
Revelation.
Revelation.
Yeah, it can. That's a perfect verse.
Done.
The souls under the altar.
Yeah, the souls under the altar. Right.
Right,
done.
done.
And then those that are here on earth, man. Those that have been deemed righteous
Can you
by
read
God.
that one more time? That's
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
man. Yeah, 'cause that's, I mean, because you got to understand that's the thing that's taking place, because the Lord, He has to. This thing is going to cause Him to go into action.
Bring
Man.
vengeance.
Vengeance, yeah, the Lord's vengeance, man.
Mhm. I'll start at 9 this time. It says, Revelation 5 and 9, it says, and we had opened the fifth seal. I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High.
Right, and see, and that's the people, the men that's out there doing it, standing stiffly for the name of Yahweh Bashim Shai.
Mhm.
So what are you other jakes doing?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You're putting forth your hand to do iniquity,
Do
wickedness.
Yep. Yep.
You still out there committing adultery, you're doing smoking crack, you're selling the crack. You're doing all sorts of amount of all sorts of things. Hey, and the crazy thing about the Lord is you could be even a good person, right? Because some people might be like, wait, but I don't do drugs. I've never sold drugs. I go to work. I come back home. But you're still not serving the Lord.
No.
So guess what? That still warrants you for death, because the Lord said that we've all vowed the vow, right? At the bottom of Mount Sinai, He said all these things we would do.
Mhm.
So guess what? You're accountable for those things, man.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, that's why so many of our people, they want to deny being Israelites because they don't want the responsibility.
Right.
You know. So again, it says, and for the testimony which they held, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
Yeah, because the Lord is not a lie. He's not a man that He should lie, nor the Son of Man that He should repent. He said, Lord, ain't you holy and true? Right? Ain't you going to revenge
Yeah. And that's what-
the
yeah.
just? You know what I mean? The blood, the righteous blood. Ain't you going to do something?
Yeah, that's why the Lord said, I will
Right.
hold my tongue no more.
I will hold my tongue no more.
Right. Right. You want me to keep
But,
going?
yeah,
You want
on
Zech-
that, yeah, on that.
You want Zechariah? You asked for Zechariah.
Oh yeah, please, push out, and then I can hear you.
Zechariah 1 and verse 15. It says, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease,
Right,
for I was but a little displeased.
right. At the time, yeah, perfect, beautiful. Well, yeah,
It says, and they helped forward the affliction.
right. Because, man, see, you can't make this up, man. Can you feel the emotions of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man? You know what I'm saying? You see what the Lord is about to do? Do it. We can read that one more time, please, Baba Bashai. Because you can feel, you know that this the Lord is not going to play games, man. Right? Because it was just, hey, for a particular time, the Lord was ready to, this, even right now, the Lord set up the elders of Great Millstone, 18 years, they've been pushing on YouTube. But you know what they do? They further the affliction, man. Right? You can give different so-called presidents. did a pump fake and gave you Obama saying he was black when he was not. He was a Kenyan. You know, you did all these different things. You know what I mean? He's really a Hamite. You did all these things. You made it look like Biden was gonna help everybody. And you ain't black if you don't vote for Biden. Then he didn't do nothing for you. Then you see how bad he put the country into disarray that even everybody was like, oh, anything will be better.
Crying for Trump again.
Yeah, you're crying for Trump again.
Right.
And then they come to find out through this left-right paradigm of good and evil, or the bad cop, the good cop, realizing now you're gonna realize they're two feathers of the same bird. That same wicked, evil, man. This place of our captivity, man. Right? This place that we were meant to serve our punishment and not dwell here forever, man.
Yeah. Read that one. You got to preach it. Want to read it one more time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got to read it one more time.
Not exactly.
Zechariah 1 and verse 15, it says, "And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease.
Mm-hmm.
For I was but a little displeased, and they helped for the affliction."
Yeah, they just helped forward their foot, and that's it. You brought in crack, you brought in heroin, you brought in all sorts of things just to further our affliction. But that's okay. The Lord is not going to hold his tongue no more. Hey, the Lord said that his judgment starts at his house. So guess what he's just going to do? Is start smacking Jake around just so he can get to you, Esau. Hey, man, you're not exempt, man. Right? They have surely a drunk in the cup. Should you not drink it? Right? Go ahead.
Yeah, just to add to what you were saying, you know, this just really reflects the fact that, you know, everybody is playing checkers and the Most High is literally playing like a 3D chess.
That's right.
You know, he's on a whole other level because he used Esau to make this scripture manifest. This is Matthew 23 and 32, and it says, "Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers." So essentially, our people are just filling up the extent of their wickedness. And the Most High has it now where that cup is full, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? That measure has been almost fully
It's ready.
maxed out and it's ready. It says, "Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell?" Of the grave, you know what I mean? And this is where our people is at, like we said earlier, running down to Egypt for help, still committing idolatry, doing all of the wicked shit that they've been doing.
Wow.
It says, "Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes,
Right.
and some of them ye shall kill and crucify." We
Right.
know who that was. You know what I mean? "And some of them ye shall scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city."
Right.
We know who they were.
Right.
You know what I mean? They
there's no
scourged the apostle, was it Peter and
Peter,
Paul?
Paul, Peter,
You know what
all
I
of
mean?
them.
Crucified Yahweh
Oh,
Shai.
yeah, I was shy. Yeah, all of them. Even to this very day, man.
Come.
That's what's coming.
Yeah, it says that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall
Right.
come upon this
Right.
generation.
And that shows you how wicked they were, because you're not supposed to defile the temple. So they wanted to get him so bad they killed him in the temple.
Yeah.
That's how wicked you were. Yeah, that's how wicked you are.
You is.
You is. You is that.
Yeah.
But
This the book of Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 16. "Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau."
right, and that's ultimately what you Jakes had done. You became profane, such as Esau, man. You have became your father, the devil, man. You have started doing all sorts of manner of wickedness, to the point it's like you surpass the deeds of the devil, right?
Yeah.
Which, you know, some of that is just the Esau throwing it out there, trying to make you the face of it too, you know, because this whole thing with Diddy, they're trying to make him the face of human trafficking, when they've already said in their own Congress that this country has been the middleman in human trafficking, right? And yeah, they've been the front man, the middle man, and the back man, yeah.
And isn't it ironic when the list for Epstein was supposed to come out, the Diddy trial begins?
Right, they're trying to make him the face of
You
it.
know? Yeah.
They're trying to now he was human trafficking.
Right,
Now
right.
he has to go for a RICO.
But he don't own an island anywhere. He
Right.
hasn't had presidents and princes and different dignitaries on his island, you know what I mean, doing the things that they do. But
Yeah.
but Diddy.
Yeah, the only island he could be on is Staten Island.
Right.
But he don't got his own island. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right,
it.
right. You know.
Yeah,
You know,
He,
even though
he
he
rents
wicked,
the yacht from Epstein.
Right, yeah,
You know
right.
what I mean?
even though he wicked as fuck.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. There's nothing that's happening to him that isn't
Yeah, yeah.
self-deserved. Nevertheless, with that being said, though, it is how they make, like
Oh, yeah.
brother, they make us the face of wickedness.
Yeah.
And the sad part is we're all too ready to fit the bill. You know what I mean? Our people are all too ready to be that face.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, you could almost say it, in some ways it's almost rightfully so. You know,
Come,
Right.
that's what we've become as a people.
Yeah.
You know, but there's more here, brother. You got some.
No, I'm just telling you.
Okay, I'll keep going here. It's
Yeah.
2 Edges 15, and I'll read verse 9 again. It says, "And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them."
Right. Hey, man.
It says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter."
Right, you see, that goes right with the verse that the brother read, because y'all basically, you're filling up your cup, because, can you get that too out real quick?
What's
It says, Revelation 18, it says that they're,
Oh, it says the
rich
rich in heaven.
expenses, yeah, because it's the same thing as your father. The devil, man, your sin is finally reached unto heaven, man. And now the Most High, but the Lord said he's going to judge at his house first.
Mhm. Yeah, let me, it's Revelation 18, and I'm gonna go and start in verse 4. It says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out over my people,
Yeah.
that ye be
Oh.
not partakers of her sins."
And that's where it started at, because what? There's a voice from heaven, which even before that happened, which that's talking about going into the chariots, being
Kind.
called up into the chariots.
Right.
But you can extrapolate that too, and understand that you can use that twofold, because at one point in time, the Lord spoke to each man that's out there putting forth being a living sacrifice. Somewhere along the line, the Lord spoke to me, said, "Come out of the world." I took him out of darkness and brought him to my glorious light.
And
Right.
He's used those men as a mouthpiece
Right.
to bring this word to
To the forefront, to the
four
ears.
corners. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
to the ears of the people.
Right.
All right?
And they've scoffed it, mocked it, twisted it into a means to make filthy lucre. You know, this precious word, man. Our people, you know, that percentage of them has taken it and defiled it.
Right.
You know, so
Mhm.
that
Like
one
the Lord
select group could be there still, bringing out the pure.
Right.
You know what I mean? A
Come.
pure word,
Come,
according to as it
Because
is
so
written.
the Lord said, you defiled my name amongst the heathen. And
Right?
how is that? You're taking the word and you're defiling. That's you know what I mean? That the name of the Lord is all through the Bible. And the Lord actually put the word above his name. You know what I mean? So therefore, you're defiling the word of the name of the Lord, man. Amongst the heathen. All for a buck, for a quick dollar, for whatever. And this system, this system is done, it's finished.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to get the MOTB, which means you're definitely finished. I just don't understand. Hey, forget about it. It doesn't even make no sense. You had one, Shakar?
What's that?
You have one?
Precept?
Yeah.
No, I'm still reading in 2 Edges. There's still
Oh.
more. Let me finish it. I was looking for some, but
I swear to God.
you got one, bro? Oh, go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 4.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. There's some more in that Hebrews too, but
Oh, you
you
got
didn't finish that one.
Oh, okay, go
ahead and get that
finish
one. Get that one, and then you can.
No, go, just go ahead and finish on that.
Okay,
verse,
okay,
and then
okay.
we'll get to this.
2 Edges 15, And verse 10 again, it says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter.
Mhm.
I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt.
Right, this place, man.
Yeah.
This place, which is spiritually Egypt, going to Revelations 11:8, which is spiritually Sodom, spiritually Egypt, man.
Yeah.
And the Lord can't allow, listen, nothing productive is going to come out of this place if we go on any further. The Lord said we will be like as Sodom, we will be like as Gomorrah if this place goes on.
Yeah, this place is taking on all of the wickedness of all of the former civilizations before it, from Babylon to the Greeks to the Romans to the
It's a conglomerate. Conglomerate.
Conglomerate.
Conglomerate. Yeah. Conglomerate.
or an amalgamation
Yeah.
of all of these nations, and you know what I mean, just a big mold, just
Right.
and now
Smorgasbord.
smorgasbord,
Yeah.
potluck, you know what I mean? That's what it's been a Christian thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they will,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
melting pot.
yeah, the melting pot, and,
Right,
and
yeah.
it's not just people, but
It's
civilizations.
wickedness, yes.
You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Each nation's
God's-
best wickedness is found here.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
its most wicked nature, its most wicked trait can be found here.
Right.
From the Egyptians and the things they were doing,
Syrians, the Babylonians,
the right.
Right.
You know, we understand that these are the the Magi's and the
Yeah, right.
right.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The Chaldeans.
The Chaldeans, so
Right,
that's
right,
the water, you know, all of that can be found here in Babylon, which is known as Mystery Babylon.
Huh?
You know what I mean?
That's it.
You know, every aspect about whatever wickedness went on, all the way down to, the wickedness of Israel, man.
Right.
You know? It's
Which
still
have
here.
followed after those ways.
Right.
Which it's well that's what the Lord said. He said your sins shall be a witness against you.
Right.
So it's almost like it followed. Well, it tells you that in Deuteronomy 28. It says that the curse shall overcome you and take you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So no matter where you're going, so you got put in the ship, bounce like a ball
Yeah.
over here, right?
Come on.
And then what happened? All those ancient Eastern gods and idols followed us all the way here. You couldn't shake your sin off. They should overcome you and take you, man. And that's what happened in this place. That's why you got the so-called feminists, and you got the black woman who can do all bad by herself.
Well, that's why it says, behold, my people is led to a flock as a slaughter.
Right.
You know, we're here amongst all this wickedness, taking on the ways of these heathen nations, especially when it comes to Esau. And now our people are going to be judged for that.
Right.
Not going to get away.
You're not gonna get away.
It's funny because it's like, I know Elder Malcolm always brings that up, but when you say all of these gods followed us, kind of reminded me of that gods of Egypt. When a boy said, you don't know you black yet. But what did they have? They had all of the gods in there.
Right.
And they're all here. Under a new name, under a new
A
name.
new guys.
You know what I mean? But it's the same old God.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know? So
Yeah.
the same female or the same male so-called deity.
We
Yeah,
just,
'cause-
we just take, I was gonna say, just take Christmas for instance. They're worshiping Semiramis,
Yeah.
Tammuz,
Yeah.
which are just ancient
Babylon,
items.
they're
man.
Babylonian,
Yeah.
they're-
It goes back, it goes
Back to Egypt.
Yeah, it goes back,
Egypt. Well,
Many different
different
worship
Iterations of it. But
Yeah.
I thought it was, what was that?
because even
one
back then they were getting
Jeremiah?
repackaged. Because even back then they were getting repackaged.
Right.
If you think about it, they were getting renamed. Because I think it became from Babylon. Then
Right.
Egypt got it. They repackaged it,
Mhm.
named it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was it the Talmud? No, not Talmud, but what's his name? His the mother and
Semiramis.
Semiramis. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's Semiramis.
Ptolemy
Yeah.
created that as a god for the, I think it was Ptolemy, wasn't it? They created,
Well, yeah, like he's saying, it goes back. Like
For
this
that-
thing has been, they just
well, I
been
mean,
repackaging it
the pot on his head,
Oh, Serapis.
Serapis Crispus. He created that for the Jews in Egypt. Well,
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
right.
That's right.
But the one in Jeremiah goes back to Babylon, correct?
Right,
You know, learn not the way of the heathens,
right.
you know?
Right.
So, yes, you know, hey, they
It's
just,
following us though.
right,
They
right,
followed us all. You gotta think those are Eastern gods. How are they here?
right,
Because
right.
they have to follow, they have to overcome you and take you. You know what I mean? And that's you know, and that's by how can you get that? It should overcome you and take you. Can you get that? Because you gotta think of that's part of that is going back into your parents,
Mhm.
right? They came here. Some of them still knew they were Israelites. That's how basically how we end up coming into the knowledge. Because they were saying Abba Bivens spoke to a guy that was out in Florida, out on the plantation. He taught him a little bit about being an Israelite. So then he went up to New York, found the Commandment Keepers. He was there for a while, but the Spirit led him to say, hey, the Messiah is a factor, is a matter. So then that's when they created basically the One West. So this is where we're at now. And now it's spread through our apostles with the 100% doctrine now. Because you got the other people that came out of One West, but when you go into Revelation, there's 7 churches. And all 6 churches, the Lord has aught with all those 6 churches. But the 7th church, which is
Jeremiah, was
which is Philadelphia,
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia,
brother, the city of peace.
which that's what we bring. I mean, you can see it with how we are brotherly with each other, man. And we're spitting the 100% truth, man. We're not here to sugarcoat or tell you that we're going to be here another 30 years, Bishop Nate. We're not here to tell you you're going to be another 1,000 years, which Alazar. We're not here to do any of those things, but to tell you. And look, now Alazar said all that stuff, and here we are. Israel just shot missiles on Iran, and then Iran just shot missiles back on them. And this ain't just like they did one. They said they did 5 different missions on Iran, and then Iran sent hundreds and hundreds of missiles, not to mention hypersonic ballistic missiles, because they couldn't defend against the hypersonic ones. So they still got hit.
And even some of the
So they
regular
Iron Dome
Yeah.
blocked some of them, but the hypersonic it couldn't stop those hypersonic that Iran sent.
Because they learned last year or year before last that they can overwhelm that thing. They can
Right.
send so many that it can't.
Get
keep up.
overwhelmed.
Right,
Yeah.
they'll overwhelm it, and that's when a lot of the other countries that had their battle armaments placed around the area were actually also shooting down missiles, and even
Right.
with that, they were still getting through.
They were getting through.
So, and Iran warned a lot of them this time, if y'all get involved, we're gonna target your bases. We're gonna target, yeah.
So how stupid do you look to say there's 1,000 years? Look how close we are. Trump is about to try to round up everybody, which we know this is technically headed to the MOTV. That's what this is all about. They're gonna lock it down, and you're gonna have to get some type of digital ID, right? And they'll have it like that for a while, kind of get you used to it, right? And then they're gonna bring in you gotta get the Karama.
And
Make it mandatory,
yeah.
And then later on, they'll make it, and at some point in time, they're gonna make it mandatory, because they have to have this done before 2030.
And in all likelihood.
So 2030, what, we're 5 years, so and really, you're half of this. So you're talking 4.5 years left. So that's not a lot of time that they have to get to where they need to be at. So really, they're gonna be speeding, hey, this is Mr. Operation Warp Speed himself in presidency.
Hey, and you know what though? All things considered, all of these roundups that they're doing, and they're not sending these people. A lot of them aren't going back to their land. They're going into these concentration camps.
Yeah, they talking about
Which
sending
is-
them to Guantanamo Bay and
Right,
shit.
right.
Like, that's crazy, bro. You know what happens in Guantanamo Bay?
But-
you get waterboarded and torched.
Oh man, you can have that happen anywhere in any American prison. But the fact is, with everything happening at warp speed, what's to say that, hey, you want to live in this country? Get this thing.
Well, no, yeah, that's
You know
that's
what I
what's
mean? And
going
you can come on right on back. And
Well, they're gonna hurt the economy.
Right.
They're hurting the economy because when you think about it,
Yeah.
he kept talking about all these criminals, but you know who they went after? They went after the hardworking people.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen with those businesses that their best workers are taken away? Those businesses are gonna hurt. So then those businesses are gonna go down. And then guess what? Now there's a lack of food, a lack of everything, and now you don't have no choice but to lean on the government, man.
They gonna hire Jay.
If Jake ain't finna go to work, he gonna show up late.
Yeah.
He ain't finna be, you know what I mean? All sorts of things. So they can't depend on Jake.
But see,
So that's why it's gonna go over into the machines, right?
Yeah, that was
'Cause you ain't nothing but a bunch
done
of,
as well.
but that's how they think about you anyway. You're just a bunch of lazy niggas anyway. So we might as well just give it to the machines, right? We might as well give it to Elon because they know how to work the machines because they've been dealing with computers and technology since they were like 2 and 3 years old. Bring them over here since they not, because they rather have the Chinese, but they kind of beefing with the Chinese, so they gotta have somebody else. You know?
You know, and this whole immigration thing has always been a means of keeping the so-called black man out of, you know, the workforce, out of being able to prosper here. Because they did this years ago. They started bringing in all of these people. When Jake's time to start receiving things and getting things and being able to, you know what I mean, level up in this place, that's when they started bringing all of these other nationalities over.
Yeah,
And
but
they were taking shit that Jake should have had, and they were not only doing it, but they were doing it for far less.
mm,
You know what I mean? So now,
everybody's gonna feel it.
Right.
It's gonna be the
right,
computer. Yeah.
right. You know, and I was kind of, you know, it kind of made you mad because despite everything that was happening in this country with the so-called African American, these other nationalities all came here under that, the land of the free, home of the brave concept. That America was that shining light on the hill.
Yeah, they came here
You know what I mean?
with a hope.
Right,
We
right.
came here because
Right.
we was just stuck.
We were stuck here, and they all came here with, if
Yeah.
I can please the oppressor and
Shit on the so-called.
shit on the oppressed,
Yeah.
that the oppressor will find me more appealing. And
Right.
it's a beautiful thing that nowadays, watching that same oppressor come down on them with that level of wrath that he's coming down on them
And,
with.
and,
You know
and,
what I mean?
crazy, and you ain't seen shit yet.
Right, right. He hasn't
That's
really shown you who
all,
he is.
yeah.
you
But
know?
he's beginning to.
Right.
The governor was the governor of Florida or the what was he?
Sure.
The sheriff of Florida.
Yeah.
Say, hey, you spit on us, hey, you're gonna get beaten, you're gonna be in the
Go to the
hospital,
hospital,
and
then you gonna go to
then you
jail.
going to jail.
Yeah, he wasn't
Yeah,
playing.
he not playing. He's like one of them good old boys.
Yeah.
He said that shit straight up, like a good old boy.
Yeah.
Man.
You know? And even with this day today, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be no King's Day. They want Jake involved with this. They want you so-called
Yeah, they're trying to
blacks
put you in a trick bag,
to
but
get-
the
right.
Most High puts you know why Jake? It's the spirit of the Most High.
Yeah.
That's the spirit of the Most, because Jake is stupid than a motherfucker.
Dumb as a
Right.
rock.
But something about what's going on, and before it even happened, Jake was like,
Ain't
we
even
good.
know. Right.
but that's the spirit of the Lord, because now, when you come in like a flood, it's going to give all the rights to the Most High to lift up a spirit, man. That's what the Lord said. He's going to lift up a spirit.
A standard.
A standard. Yeah, he's going to lift up, a standard. With that standard is going to be a totally different spirit, though. Right?
Yeah.
Because you got Jake in that docile, old lion. Can you get that? The old lion spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's going to get roused up, man. His hand is going to be in the neck of its enemy, man. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to happen, man. It's going to be a totally different spirit. It's going to be a totally different standard that the Lord is trying to do, man.
Yeah, because when you go into that word spirit, Well, I'll read it, then I'll get it. Amen.
All right, you got it already?
Yeah.
I was gonna bring that, Judah's lines, well.
Oh, go ahead.
Just because it was quoted,
Okay, go ahead.
Jeremiah 49:9, it reads, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art going up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion.
Genesis, right?
Genesis
yeah.
49:9. And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
49, no? Genesis, oh yeah, Genesis 49 and 9, yeah, come. That's right. I'm like, oh yeah, 49. When Jacob, Yaakov basically gave us what was going to happen. Could you read that at the top real quick and then get to that? Because then we know what's at the very top of that, the very first verse is that.
It says, Genesis 49:1, and Jacob called his sons and said,
Yaakov, Jacob, our father, he's called his sons.
gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last day.
Hey, where are we at right now?
Last
That's
Thursday.
things.
Where are we at right now? Come on now. You can't make this up, man.
And those men are back again.
And those men are back.
Because he said, I may tell you.
Right.
What's
Which
gonna
one? That's
happen
another
to you.
a reincarnation scripture right there. Right, good.
Right.
Skip back down to 9, please, Brother Kushan.
Says, verse 9, I'll jump to 8.
Yeah, there.
Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
Yeah, so so like Issachar, the northern kingdoms is asking them where we at in this thing. Where you guys at? What's going on? Where are you at? The whole thing is we're holding back. Jake is holding back from right now.
Because Issachar has treated them with such contempt and and disdain.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
yeah, that's true too. That's true too. But yeah, because the Lord has to show you what it feel like,
Right.
and then
Right.
and showing you how it feel like. And what did it say right there again?
It says, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
And then that's when you're gonna realize, oh, now we know to follow them because they know they've been through this, and that's what a lot of Jake's been saying. People are saying this and that because, matter of fact, there was a video I just seen. Godfrey, the comedian, some Edomite says, "You black people need better get out there because," and that's just like you said, they're trying to get us to be out there. They really, that's you trying to pull a trick bag
They
on
want to
us.
open that wholesale slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I
You're
mean?
trying to put a trick bag out there.
Right.
You got to get out there. But Godfrey was like, look. And the guy was saying, you guys, you guys are going to be next. And then Godfrey was like, who are you talking to? We've been through this. Of course we know we're going to. He said, what we're doing is we're waiting for our time. When they do come against us, we're reserving our energy for the right time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn. I said, that makes sense. We're reserving our energy for when they direct their energy towards us. But when you read this, it says, you're whom thy brethren shall praise. And that's when our brethren are going to look at us like, oh, it's now it's go time.
Yeah, because
Now everybody's going to go, oh, this is it. Because everybody's fed up with Esau. You know each way you go, the law ain't going to help you. You went to the Democrats. They didn't help. You went to the so-called left. You went to the right, the Republicans. You went to the right. They didn't help you. You see Trump himself they're breaking the law. Trump has, 40-something felonies or something? You got a president that got felonies telling you that you're this criminal and this and that he could throw you out. And he got a foreign wife. You make sense out of this while he's throwing you out. Then right in front of your face, smacking you in the face, went over to South Africa and brought these goddamn Edomites, these Africans, right? And spit in your fucking face and then putting you out. When this place was yours first. But at the same time, this place has to be destroyed. So you got to let go of this. That's part of that thing with the Northern Kingdom. Because I get it. You've been in this land so long. There's a part of you that don't want to. But you're gonna have to, the Lord's about to shoot 200 million missiles on this place. So you got to let this place go.
and they forgot who their enemy was.
Right?
You know what I mean? So now
The Lord
Most High
remind
is
them.
forcing them to
To
know
remind them, yeah.
this is who your enemy is. You
Right.
treated the so-called, you came over here and you treated the people that were here as though they were your enemy, so that you could get close to the so-called white man. You know what I mean? You portrayed yourself as white, and you thought that he was your friend. You thought that he was
Yeah, when-
your partner.
When
and
Jake
you
was the
thought
one who
that-
showed you
right,
love, because
right, at all turns. Jake
let's
was the one.
let's rewind back at the time for a split second. When they had water fountains, there were only a white one and a black one.
Yeah.
There was no brown one.
No.
So what did you have to do in
Yeah.
order to drink water? You had to drink out of the so-called black fountain, and Jake would have to have enough courtesy, most likely, to let you drink out of that. Which Jake, a lot of Jakes are very kind-hearted, and most likely a lot of Jakes did something. You got some Jakes that look, you know, you got that in everybody. People look for, look to cause trouble or something. You know, you probably had a couple of Jakes that look to cause trouble, but you can't blanket statement that to all Jake. Most Jakes help you so-called Mexicans, so-called Puerto Ricans, so-called Cubans. You let you drink out of our fountain. You let you be. We was in the same neighborhoods.
Because you remember the sign didn't just say no black, it said no blacks,
No Mexicans,
and
no
no Puerto
dogs.
Ricans. Yeah,
Right, right.
depending on where you lived at.
Because and it kind of reminds me of that in the Hateful Eight, where it says, "Oh, girls haberdashery." There was a sign above there that said no Mexicans and no dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
and you know they said no
right.
niggas, definitely
You
no
know,
niggas. Yeah.
but you know, it was
Right.
after the no. It was still no Mexicans and
No,
dogs.
I'm just saying.
But, yeah.
It wasn't on the sign, but I'm saying
Right.
you know,
At some
you
point,
know
yeah.
it ain't gonna be no niggas. So
But,
yeah,
you know, it's just,
Yeah.
you know, and then they came over here and they treated us like we were their enemy because they figured if they treated us bad like Esau treated us bad, that they would be accepted by Esau. And the
Right.
worse they treated us, and all of these nations. But then it goes even back further to what the scripture says. And they all came together and made a tumult. You know what I mean?
oh,
Came together to bring Israel down. So these other nations, they don't even understand, and this is where that knowledge
It's
and
spiritual.
understanding.
Yes,
Right,
it's all
because they don't
spiritual.
even know anymore why they hate us. They just know they hate us.
Okay, yeah, look. That's you. Yeah.
What you want, bro?
No, he still he
Finish.
Oh,
So this is Salakia.
Genesis.
No, this stupid
Oh.
thing. Yeah, says Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
Mm-hmm.
Thy hand shall
Right.
be in the
See,
neck of
When,
thine
they,
enemy.
when all the when they finally come for Judah, hey, his hand is gonna be in the neck of his enemies, man. The Lord's gonna it's gonna change a totally different thing.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
because
totally different.
it says, thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
Mhm.
So they're
Right,
going to
that's,
get
that's
in
all the
line,
other
right?
That's all the other tribes are gonna get in line. Now you're gonna see, oh, yeah, hey, whoa, this is why they was waiting.
Mhm.
This is why they think because it's gonna be a certain. You already read that about the spirit.
No, I got
The
it.
Lord, okay, come. Yeah, beautiful.
It says, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down.
Mhm.
He crouched as a lion, and
Mhm.
as an old lion,
Hey,
who shall rouse him up?
yeah, and that's Jake. Jake got lethargic, comfortable with everything, but the Lord is about to make everything uncomfortable. So it ain't gonna be no more a place of comfort. You're gonna know that this ain't your rest. And when you can't trust either side, and you can't trust nobody, which Jake been doing that, the laws have not worked for us. You got a small section of so-called what they call themselves Black Americans,
Boule.
right? That still think they're part of the system, right? And they still trying to, there's some dude I always watch him on the thing when this little thing always pops up, and he's been talking, and you can tell he's one of them goddamn Oreos, man. He think if he just says all these different little things to say what he think Esau wants him to hear, that everything's gonna be okay, but it's not, bro. They're coming for you too.
And that's what
Right.
our Northern Kingdom did. They thought if they somehow, some way, hate us good enough,
And if you don't die, you're gonna get the karagma, and either way it goes, you're finished anyway. right? So it's a lose-lose situation if you ain't with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That was, unless you want me to, verse 10, the scepter shall not depart from Judah,
Right, yeah, you got it.
nor a lawgiver from between his feet,
Right,
until Shiloh come,
right.
and unto him
Peace, yeah.
shall the gathering of the people
And that's what the
be.
Lord's doing right now. He's gathering the
The
elect.
innumerable multitude.
Yeah, he's gathering the elect. Go ahead.
Okay. This is Isaiah 59 and verse 19. It says, show so they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yoshai from the west and his glory from the rising of the sun.
Mhm.
It says, when the enemy should come in like a flood.
Right, that's Esau, man. He's about to come in like a flood, man.
Mhm.
He's not finna play games. Right?
It says, the spirit of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yoshai shall lift up a standard against them.
Right. The Lord's gonna lift up a standard against him. And that's a totally different spirit that's gonna take place. And that's why that's really the spirit of the Lord got Jake just chilling. He watching everything. Jake clocking it. Right? The Lord said be circumspect. Jake is being very circumspect about everything
You getting that word?
at this point.
What's that?
I said, you
I'm
getting
getting
that
the
word
word spirit.
standard?
Spirit.
Spirit.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Yeah, there's a certain point I wanted to get to, but let me see.
No, you good, but yeah. So that's just basically it, man. The Lord's gonna lift up that standard, man, and hey, it's gonna be a totally different thing than what Esau what he thought he expected was gonna happen.
Right. And
Right.
Well, the word is it's 87307, which is rakah. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, spirit,
It's a
yes.
spirit. It says, imparting warlike energy
Woo!
and executive and administrative power.
Woo! Beautiful.
Yeah.
Imparting war
Like energy.
warlike energy, man.
Hey, the Lord is a man of war.
It said, as endowing men with various gifts.
Amen. Hey, and the Lord's about to give the elect spiritual powers, man.
That's right.
Yeah, when you go into that standard.
Supernatural spiritual power.
Get
Go-
that stand.
Yeah, go into that word stand. Shall lift up the standard
You get that?
85127.
Acts. What the Acts?
No
What do you want?
The weapons of Acts.
No
Yeah.
weapons formed against.
No.
Not that one.
No. You're gonna be weapons of Acts.
Oh,
Jeremiah 51.
Yeah, my
like
battle axe
battle
and
axe and
weapons of
weapons
war.
I'm all twisted in my. I'm all.
Yeah, when you go into that word
excited.
standard,
Okay.
it says to flee, to escape. It's gonna be a way of escape.
Right. See. It's a standard. It's a way to flee, to escape.
Mm-hmm.
And see, if your back's against the wall and you don't have no choice, you have to come out fighting in order to escape. And so that's what's going to happen with a lot of Jake
Yeah, with warlike energy.
with warlike energy, right?
Yeah. Man, imagine that.
Right. Because it says that even the least of you shall be like David.
Right.
Oh, can you get that? Because that's what's going to happen, man. The least of you are going to be like
Yeah.
David. You know what I mean?
You got that, brother?
We got
It's
that.
Jeremiah 51.
Yeah, I'm
He tried to look for a
I'm
spot.
looking for it.
Where you want to start though? You must be juicy.
Well, the whole thing, yeah, I'm just looking for that exact verse,
It's like, was it 50 maybe?
51 and 50.
Something like that, I believe. I might be off.
Yeah, it is. It's like 50. One thing about Acts 4.
Maybe I'm not in the right place. Let me see.
Battle.
Yeah, let me Google it real quick. I might have given you the wrong. Salak, yeah.
Sounds good.
I thought I had. Oh yeah, 51 and 20.
Okay, there you go.
Salak, yeah. 51 and 20, brother.
So I'm gonna read this first one, read Jeremiah 51 and 1. And it reads, Thus saith Yahweh, Behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. And we know that's that nuclear fire, but that he's being, these things are being raised up. Verse 19, jumping down to 19, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things,
Right,
and Israel is the rod of his inheritance.
right.
Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai of hosts is his name. Verse 20, Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms.
Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, because, that's the Lord, lifting up a standard, man.
The warlike energy.
That warlike energy, right?
Mhm.
Oh, that's what it was, because we were talking about the least of them should be like David.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I was like, man, what?
Yeah, because that's what's gonna happen. That warlike energy, man, and the least of them gonna be like David. And then when you deal with the elect, the Lord's gonna give the elect.
So they're gonna be like the Most High.
Gonna be like the Most High, bro.
Precept when you're done, bro.
Okay. Well, go ahead and bring it out, brother, while I'm getting this.
Okay, come. This is Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 8. 5 of you shall chase 100.
Gun, that's right, man. Only 5 Jakes are gonna chase 100, man.
Right.
And in 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight.
Hey, man, that's what's about to happen, man.
God.
That's the thing that's about to happen, man. With that spirit being that was it?
Warlike energy.
Warlike energy, man. With Jake with his hand on the neck of his enemy, man.
That's right.
You read the definition?
Yeah, standard is an escape, a means of escape, which
That's what it is, man. That's gonna be that way of escape. Because your back is gonna be against the wall. You're gonna have to fight your way out of it. That's
No,
right.
I was just saying, attack is going to be the escape.
yeah.
Right.
That warlike energy is going to be the standard. You know what I mean?
Escape, yeah.
Jake gonna, hey, even the 2/3, man, the Most High gonna get
Hey,
in their
matter of fact,
opportunity
you
to take
get
the
that
heads
one.
off of these.
The Lord said he's gonna be Jake is gonna be Judah be a terror in Egypt, man. You get that?
Isaiah 19. Maybe 18, 17. This is
Oh, did you finish?
You got one?
Yes, you got it.
Finish it.
Okay. I'll run it back from the top.
Run it back. All right.
Come. Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 8. 5 of you shall chase 100, and in 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and your
yeah.
enemies shall fall before you by the sword.
Woo! See, hey, and the sword ain't gonna be a feather. We ain't coming to tickle you to death. Hey, this is about to be. It's about. Hey, what else you gonna do? What else are you gonna do? Right? You won't have no choice but to. Hey, the Lord's gonna raise that man. It's gonna be not like what Esau thought.
No.
Because he numbers the number of Jake a lot lower. But there's a lot more Jake than you think.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be a lot more people that's going to side with us than you think. Right?
Yeah,
Because when you got Edomites that's going to probably fight with us to fight against you. You're going to have all sorts of people because nobody, not even your own people like you. Because you're such a depravity. We've had Jakes, Edomites, when we out there speaking, they be like, yeah, you know what? We deserve it. Yeah, it's about that time for judgment. We had Edomites or what were perceived to be
Could be,
Edomites.
yeah, you never know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah. Matter of fact, was some chick, they said, brothers was speaking about a video. Some chick was saying, hey, this is our turn.
I saw that, yeah. She was doing an interview in her house or something. She was like, man, what we did to them. And yeah, there's a lot of them coming out. Their children shall seek to please the poor. What they did, they know that there's an accountability coming for it. Even comedians have said, we've had this in this life. But when we come back, we get ready to face hell because You know, you never considered, like Elder Malcolm always said, you never considered the second half of Manifest Destiny. You just took that first part, it's my time to shine, and y'all ran with it. You
Right.
never considered when your time was over the repercussions, you know what I mean, that would be coming your way for your actions.
Yeah.
You know, the scripture says that he who has shown no mercy shall receive no mercy, shall not receive mercy, roughly paraphrasing.
You want me to
And
read?
judgment
Did you
rejoicing
find it?
in mercy.
Zechariah 12:8 for the
Right.
brother. I'm gonna look for some real quick. I'll shop. Zechariah
Oh, who's
12:8.
supposed to bring us something?
I got it, but
Yeah, and
I would
yeah,
actually
it's
look for
him, and
something
then
else.
I'm holding Isaiah as well.
Okay.
So I think your verse.
You want this one? I'll get it.
Go ahead.
No, I'll get what because I want to go by what the brother said. But this is Zechariah 12:8. It says, in that day shall the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
Right.
And he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David.
Right, see?
And when you go to Psalms 18 chapter, David was leaping over buildings or leaping over walls.
Yeah, say he can break,
Yeah,
break
bend a bowl of steel.
Bend a bowl of steel, man.
Saul has killed his thousands, and
And yeah,
David his tens
David
of
killed
thousands.
10,000s.
Tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands.
It says, and the house of David, which is the elect,
That's the elect. Yeah.
shall be as the Most High,
God.
as the angel of the
With
Lord
that
Yahweh
spirit.
Hashem Yoshai.
You gotta remind yourself what the Spirit said. The spirit of
Warlike
war
spirit.
energy.
Warlike energy.
War-like energy. Bro.
But well, there's a little bit more. It says, and it should come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that
Right.
come against Jerusalem.
Right, there you go, man. Hey, see? So you think it's gonna be a walk in the park, right? But there is some things that's gonna happen, you know, but hey, it ain't gonna be what you think it ain't gonna be that easy either. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But what up?
Okay, God. This is Luke chapter 10 and verse 19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions.
Perfect. And that's what's about to happen, man. You about to shut down you serpents and you scorpions, man. Right? This place, Babylon the Great, hey, it's about to be a power cave. Things is about to erupt real soon. Right?
Very good. And all over the power of the enemy, and
Mhm.
nothing shall by any means hurt you.
Yeah, that's dealing with the elect. But yeah. You know what I mean? You had that?
I have one, but go ahead.
Well, I'm holding two.
Go
Just a quick one. This is Exodus 15:3. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. You know what I mean? So, hey, that warlike spirit is coming from a man of war.
From on high.
Right.
On high. From the fourth dimension, bro.
You know?
Well, even Yahweh says in Revelation 19, I will come to make war
Not meet you as a man.
and judge.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, wow, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Let me get it.
Hey, that one is that where he says,
Bring it out!
Come right there, I'm
I
right
will
there.
not meet you as a man.
Yeah.
That one as well, you know?
Right. Let me, it says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse.
You gotta read the
On Revelation 19 and 11. It says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse.
right. That's Yahweh Shai.
And the chariot.
That's Yahweh Shai in the chariot, that fathership.
Pure power.
And he that sat upon him, he that sat upon him was called faithful and true.
Mhm.
And in righteousness, he does judge and make
Make
war.
war. Yeah. Because he's just like his father.
Like his father.
He seen his father. He said, I can't do nothing but what I see my father do. Man, and he's gonna come do what the
Whoop ass
father
and
would.
take
Yeah,
initials.
yeah,
You
man.
ain't got time to take
Oh.
names.
Yeah.
Just put your initials.
Yeah. What did Apostle R say? Belt to asses, man. That's what's coming, man.
Hey, hey, and that's for his, you know what I mean? Belt to ass. For the rest of y'all, it's a sword.
Yeah,
It's
it's
his.
a sword. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Hey, for those he loves, he chastises.
Yeah, but
And he don't love the rest of y'all, man.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna find that out real soon.
This Exodus chapter 15 verse 3. The Lord is a man of war.
Yeah, that's what he just brought up.
I'm slack.
Hey, the spirit had to come out again.
Hey,
He was probably looking for it when you brought it up.
Hey, man.
Yeah, he's probably looking for him.
I got the, you hold something else, because I got this other one as well. This is Isaiah 19, and I'm going to start at 15. And it reads, "Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do." You know, and we're seeing that come into fruition as well with everything else. And all of these things are going to escalate at these things that are happening.
Right.
It says, "In that day shall Egypt be like unto women,
Right. Yeah.
and it shall be afraid
Yeah.
and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh of hosts,
Yeah.
which he shaketh over it.
Mm-hmm.
And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt."
Con.
You know,
Oh,
the
yeah,
land
how-
represents the people, man.
Yeah. How about Shema Shai is finna, hey, that's all part of the Lord's judgment because he's bringing you into a trick bag, man. The Lord reeling you in, man.
Yeah, and then it says, if you just by them hearing the name of Israel, should be a terror unto them.
Yeah. Which that's what's happening now.
Yeah.
Because we're not saying Israel. I mean, we say Israel. We say Yasharallah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the true name, we're saying Yasharallah. So
Yeah.
that right there brings fear. We
Yeah.
say Israel because it's the thing that people understand.
And
It's
they
the little
stood
dumbed
up
down
on their
version.
feet.
Yeah, but
man.
Yasharallah is bringing fear to him. Yeah. Which
Because they know
Boom,
what's
Yasharallah.
coming. Yeah.
Boom, Yasharallah. Hey, boy,
Hey,
they know to say Kwam, which means rise. Yasharallah, Israel, he prince of power, he prince with God. Man, that's scary. Because that shows you that spirit of a war-like energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, what
Coming
did that
from the Most High.
councilwoman from Chicago say a couple years back? That the black man is the biggest thing to be afraid of as
long as you got the
coming up
Bible.
thing,
Yeah,
you know.
the scriptures.
But even not, you know, hey, these men that you're seeing on the byway, highways and byways.
That's
you
what
know,
you fear. for
that's,
real.
you know what I mean? Because that's that exceeding great army that's being risen up, you know? And,
Yeah, because we're chatting down Babylon. Because
God.
every brick, we're all these bricks,
yeah, that
All
march
these
around
stones-
Jericho. once
these
again.
lively stones is starting to cry. Hey, that's what he said. He said, I can even have these stones cry out. And that's what we are. We're those stones crying out, man.
It says, continuing on, it says, "Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of Yahweh of hosts,
Yeah, and it's
which he
counts-
hath determined
Right,
against
I was
them."
gonna say. I was gonna say that. Well, I guess he gave his own definition.
Yeah, but
Right. Because I was gonna say council means he's already decided it.
yeah,
So this is already decided. He's already went there.
told everybody what he expects out of them.
All right.
Yeah, it says, my counsel shall stand.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got one right here.
Go ahead.
Going back to what what brother was bringing out earlier, it says, Ecclesiastes, Sirach 41:7, it says, the children will complain of an ungodly father,
Mm.
Right.
because they shall be reproached for his sake. Yeah, because right now, you know, you got these people saying, well, it wasn't us,
Oh yeah,
but
that's
really,
it.
it's them, man. They are their
Right.
fathers.
Or your father.
You know, and they're being reproached, saying, they you know, you're getting the finger pointed at you. You're the devil. You know,
Right. Ain't no hide. Yeah, you can't
you
hide.
can't hide no more.
And they're trying to make amends, but there's no amount of amends that you could make
Well, because there's generations.
rectify, right?
Because
right.
especially when there's reincarnation, you've been doing this for generations.
Right,
We
right.
go back to the 1400s, and we've reincarnated so many times from the 1400s to now. How can we reconcile that?
Yeah. Go all the way back to the Greeks.
Yeah, you can go all the way
You know
back
what
to
I
the
mean?
Greeks.
Because
technically.
every Edomite, they neither Jew nor Greek. Okay, well, cocksucker, you in trouble then for that too.
What you did.
Right.
The shit you did is the Greeks.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was so rotten, you didn't even want to put it in the scriptures. You wanted to pull it out so that we wouldn't actually know. You know what I mean? That's why the Greek captivity is hidden in the Apocrypha.
Right.
Right, they took
You
it
know,
out. They took the
They
box
took
out.
that out because that was vile.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They were doing abominations, but you can go back even further.
Yeah, when you're hanging babies,
Right.
that's crazy,
Right.
bro.
Yeah,
But then
Yeah.
but there's no new thing under the sun. They put babies in alligator pits.
Yeah.
So I mean, it shows you're heartless when it comes to someone else's.
And-
Same
well,
people. Told you the same people.
Yeah, yeah, the same people, especially,
Right.
especially when it comes to us.
And you're not
Right.
even original. You get your shit from the
Everybody
Egyptians.
else, yeah, everybody else.
The Egyptians was the, you know what I mean?
Well, everybody is what we said. All those gods
you know?
came and followed. So you got everything
Yeah.
they did. They took it from each one
Each
and
one.
just brought it here.
And then Esau, hey, come on, let's go all the way back to Babylon. What was you doing? Where was
Oh,
you
they
at?
helped. They helped.
You helped in Babylon.
Well, they the one that burned down the
You
temple.
right.
Well,
Hey, you the ones that did that. You were the ones that was catching Jake and helping doing what you was doing and rounding them up. You know what I mean?
The one that
So
was slipping
there
up,
is
yeah.
right. There's no
Which-
amount.
Which
You know
that's
what
in
I
the
mean?
law.
You know, you kept your
What's
you
crazy-
kept your hatred forever.
It,
You
it
know?
tells you. It tells you. It's the law. It's in I believe it's in Deuteronomy. It says that you must blot out
The name.
Amalek
Yeah, yeah.
from heaven.
So the Lord
Hey,
will have war with them.
So when you think about that, that's part of the Lord's law.
Yeah.
that ain't just the Lord saying something. He put it in it's the law to block you out.
block, like
And can you get that? Can you get that?
Yeah, I got a little bit more.
No, go ahead. No, I'm
Okay.
just asking
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Ak right here. Can you get that for me? When you blot out Amalek. Because that's how, when I was reading it one time, I was like, wait a minute. You gotta think this is the law. This is law. No, this is, you know what I'm saying? This is what the Lord, it ain't just, this is not a thing he's saying in passing. He went so far to put it in the law, which is Deuteronomy is the second book of the law, bro.
Right,
That's crazy.
right. This is verse 8, Ecclesiastes of Sirach 41:8 says, woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High Power.
Right, yeah.
It says, for if you increase, it shall be to your destruction.
Right,
It says, and if you be born, it should be born to a curse.
right,
And
yeah.
if you die, a curse shall be your portion.
Right,
It says,
yeah.
and all that are of the earth shall turn to earth again, so
Right.
the ungodly shall go from a curse to destruction.
Well, yeah, you're not gonna exist. Obadiah 1:18.
That 1:18.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we need to get to Obadiah. Get Obadiah.
Charger.
Start at 1 and then go to 18. Yeah. Yeah.
you ready to go for
No, no,
okay.
no.
I'm gonna start at 15. You know what I mean? Because hey, our people we haven't maintained this. It's Deuteronomy 25:15. But thou shalt have a perfect and just way, a perfect and just measure shall thou have,
Right.
that thy days may be lengthened in the land which Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, thy power giveth thee.
Right. And just being completely wicked is not a perfect and just, it's an imbalance.
Right.
It's not a perfect and just way. You know what I'm saying?
You know?
Like the scripture said, we fall, and you may fall 7 times, but the righteous get back up 7 times, right? You may fall a couple of times, but the righteous get up, man. We're not here to just continue to keep doing wicked. You know what I mean? That's completely unbalanced, man.
And that puts
And then it's
everything out of balance.
unjust to look at the Lord
Yeah.
and ask the Lord to help you after you just been completely wicked without having a level of really actually looking out for your brother, looking out for your own neighborhood, looking out for your own people, right? Instead, you do wickedness against your own people, wickedness in your own neighborhood, and then not just Issachar or the Northern Kingdom. A lot of you Jakes, whether you black, so-called Mexican, so-called Native American, you like to kiss the white man's ass, man. And see, it's gonna come a time. Hey, it's coming a time where you're gonna get a judgment, man. The Lord is coming to judge. He's not gonna be quiet anymore, man, because he has to deliver the elect.
Right.
He has to deliver the elect. So the Lord,
I will not suffer them to dwell in Egypt anymore.
right?
Yeah.
Because is it what you call him? When he says well, there's 2 of them. He said I'm meditating. One scripture the Lord said he's meditating on it, and then there's another scripture where the Lord said it's his delight to give you the kingdom. Right? It's the Lord's delight to give it. So what do you think the Lord's going to do, man? Right? He's got to give it. He got to give the elect the kingdom, man. Starting with Yahweh Shai. That's his son. I mean, come on. You think Yahweh Shai needs to go any seconds longer than what's going on now? That's why he's going to speed this time up. They're going to bring in the Karagma between now and what is it, 2030 or whatever it is? Which it might be here faster than that. Like, way things going, man. They lock this down and everybody has to get this digital currency within the next year or two. Or maybe even 6 months. It could be, yeah.
We don't, yeah, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to put a time,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
at the
yeah.
same time, it's close though.
It's close. Yeah, and Shalom, yeah, Shalom, brother.
Shalom,
Yahweh Shem Barakatah.
Shalom, Akim. What was that?
Ayak from the main camp.
Ayak. Oh yes, Shalom,
Shalom,
Shalom.
brother.
Go ahead. You on that out? What you?
Huh?
Was that you? The first?
Just reading? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
come on. Go ahead.
I was waiting on you.
No, I'm going
Says-
to You good?
Says, verse, let's wait, perfect measure. Says verse 15, but thou shalt have a perfect and just weight, a perfect and just measure shalt thou have, that thy days may be lengthened in the land which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai thy power giveth thee.
Right.
For all that do such things,
Right, because the Lord gave the northern kingdom this land, but obviously you wasn't doing right. He let the white man come in, take the land, destroy you. Your days of lengthening in this land didn't get lengthened. And now we're at a thing where you're still doing wicked. So look, the Lord has to come in and he's gonna allow the white man to come in one more time, one last hurrah for Esau. And this is about to be it, man.
He's gonna give that left hand one more.
One more
punch.
Yeah. One more at bat. You know what I mean? Yeah, he got one more at bat. Try to get it. Try to get it. You know what is it? When you play baseball,
Yeah.
you at the ninth, bottom of the ninth.
Bring a pitch
It's a-
hitter.
yeah. It's a tie game or something like that. You got to try to rally your team.
he gonna re-energize that spirit that he had when he
But
brought y'all niggas over here. When he came over to this land, it was hanging y'all by 13. When he was feeding our kids to alligator babies. When he came up with the term for boots over bullets. He's gonna put that spirit back
Back
on
in
you.
there,
Come
The
on,
horns gonna
Esau.
come out. The horns gonna
Right,
come out.
right. That spirit of the Greeks.
Right.
You know what I mean? That spirit of the Idumeans when they were sacking Jerusalem with the Babylonians. That spirit, man, he's gonna put that spirit back on these devils, man.
Yeah.
To be who they are. You know what I mean?
The king of the king of Egypt, right?
Yeah.
The cruel Lord,
The cruel
king.
Lord. Yeah. You know, he's back. He's in there now. Y'all having a no King's Day on his behalf.
Right.
It says, for all that do such things and all that do unrighteously are an abomination to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai thy power.
Right.
Verse 17, remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way when ye were come forth out of Egypt.
Right.
Hey, again, another Edomite tragedy story. You know, you devils, man. And then you had Benji Nadaju talking about that the Palestinians was Amalek and
Right.
quoted that scripture.
Right.
You know what I mean? You talking about the perfect devil.
Right.
This dude knows he's the Amalekites.
Oh yeah.
He knows it, and he literally deferred that identity onto the people that they're slaughtering.
Deflection, you know that.
You know what I mean?
They're a constant deflection.
Right,
Deflection,
constant. The victim villains like Elder Malcolm. You know, I think he coined that phrase, victim villain.
Yeah. Victim villain.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It says, verse 18, how he met thee by the way
Mm-hmm.
and smote the hindmost of thee.
Yeah. And that's what he's about to do again. That's his whole thing.
Right.
He's
Because
a coward.
Even in the CV-19, he said the what? The least fortunate.
Right.
The black Hispanic, because why? You're the less fortunate. We want the less fortunate. So that's what the same thing. He said, hey, you guys are, you're the weak ones, and you're the ones. But really, it was
But he
because they
knows
wanted
who
you
we
to get,
are, though.
Yeah,
That's
he
what
know
it
who we
is.
are.
He know
wanted
who we
to-
are.
Yeah, he wanted to give it. He wanted us to get the icky Vicky.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and get
Fauci ouchie.
the Fauci ouchie. You know what I mean?
You know, it says, he met thee by the way, and smote the hindermost of thee, even all that were feeble
Right.
behind thee.
When
Coward,
they're
a
sick,
slithering
Yeah.
coward, man.
And that's ultimately what you're gonna do. Was when the lights go out
Hey,
and there's no power, they do an EMP or whatever they do to run out the power so they can turn it back on. And only when they turn everything back on, you have to get the Karagma or however they're gonna do it. The most people gonna die is the elderly. That's the ones
Yeah.
who's gonna die because they on the ventilators and the things,
machines.
machines. You're gonna need the insulins and things. So those people are gonna be the first people that drop dead,
They're
man.
not gonna have medication.
Not the medications.
Damn.
hey,
Right?
it's crazy because just like the curses identify us, his cowardice identifies him.
Right.
You know what I mean? He
His
still goes
atrocities.
after the women and children.
Right.
Who's he killing the most of the Palestinians? Women and children. You know what I mean? He's in everywhere. He's pillaging everything. He's robbing everybody. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
says,
bombing hospitals. bro.
right, even
That's
all
crazy.
that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary, and he feared not the Most High.
And that's what he's doing now. He's not fearing the Most
No.
High.
Not at all.
You mean if you think about what he's about to do, hey, listen, we finally came out. It ain't no by accident. Now we're the black identity crisis. It ain't no crisis, homie. We know who we are. We don't have an identity like we're Jason Bourne and we don't know who the hell we are. We know exactly who we are. We're the hopeful elect, man. We're the Israelites, man. We're Yasha'Allah, man.
The
Period.
problem was we didn't know
Right.
who we are.
Yeah, we didn't, but now we do.
Yeah.
And now you're in trouble, man.
Now
The
you're
Lord
mad,
ain't gonna
yeah.
he's gonna hold his tongue no more, even to the point of taking out Jake. Because the Lord's not a respecter of persons. You did wicked. That's what the brother brought out. And once you stacked up all your sins, and that cup gonna have to get filled to you,
I
man.
didn't
They
finish
that
that,
would
brother.
not that I should rule over them.
No.
But let me grab that 19th and
Yeah,
then.
I didn't finish it.
Therefore it shall be, when Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai thy power hath given thee rest from all thine enemies round about, in the land which Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai thy power giveth thee for an inheritance to
Right.
possess it,
Right,
that thou shalt blot out.
right. And you were given America when you deal with the Northern Kingdom. They were given America for a heritage, but you didn't keep the customs. That was the whole point of you leaving Assyria, the Syrian captivity, is to come here
And
and
they
to
said
keep the laws. Yeah, they said that.
Yeah.
Keep the laws, and then you didn't do it. Right? So fast forward all the way to 2025, and now you're getting fucked up out here by the police and all this stuff, and then you ain't saying nothing yet.
Yeah.
And that's,
Because him coming as a madman sparing nothing, he ain't did that yet.
Right.
But we're seeing the making of it, man. This is why it says what it says, that faith is the things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So now we're starting. This is the evidence. When you see that they're showing you their horns, this is the evidence of things not seen. Because we have been prophesying about this and saying this was coming. We're saying it's going to be martial law. We saying that things are going to be shut down. We said there were going to be no food. We said there won't be no water. We said that these women were going to be in trouble. And one of these women on YouTube, everything said, you know what, I'm changed. You know what, I'm ready to be a wife. And I don't care if you got multiple women. Now you got a lot of women starting to sing a different tune, man. And they ain't seen nothing yet. So how much more further in that time, man?
yeah, because those are going to be a lot of the undesirables anyway. Nobody going to deal with your ass.
No.
You've been too polluted.
Yeah.
And, but I'm going to finish this out because this time when this command goes forth again, we're going to get it right.
Right.
It says that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it.
Woo.
This time when the command
Hey.
goes out, This time when that command is issued,
Oh yeah, the elect is on the scene.
forget
Hey,
about it.
and the laws are in our inward parts. Lord willing, we're part of that number, and we're not going to go off. We're going to be fully programmed to do it right.
Man.
Hey, but the point why I was is that's in the law. So you can't get around that. Amalek, that's
that
in the
law
law.
ain't been done away
That's
with.
the law. Yeah, that's why the laws are done away with.
Been done away with.
Yeah, that's what they want to say. The laws are done away with.
What? No, that's
No, that's the laws. No. That law, that's the law, and it ain't done away with. Amalek got to get put out,
Yeah,
blotted
no.
out forever, and we shall not forget it, man. Right? Because the scriptures going into Ecclesiastes says there that you should not the things the Lord requires, the things that are past, man. You're not gonna forget, bro. Right?
Right.
You got that?
What's up? What you want? bro?
But what you
Well,
said you
yeah.
should finish it.
Oh, yeah. You're supposed to have a precept too, if I may, real quick, just because you said about the northern tribe, right? They came here and they said they were gonna keep the commandments, but I'll read it. 2 Edges 13 and 4, I'll read it quick. It says, those were the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, from whom Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land.
Right.
So, they took them out. Well, they took them
Out
out.
of Syria, yeah.
Samaria.
Samaria, yeah. I mean, out of Samaria into Assyria.
Right.
Oh, the Syrian army, yeah.
Right. It says, but they took this counsel among themselves, talking about the 10 tribes,
Yeah, the
the
10
northern
tribes.
kingdom. It says that they would leave the multitude of the heathen
Uh-huh.
and go forth into a further country
Yeah.
where never mankind dwelt.
Right, which is Arzareth.
Arzareth.
Arzareth, which also called Turtle Island, right? This was called Turtle Island at one point in time, right? So this is that place, man, that you came to, and then you didn't keep the customs.
Yeah.
Even when you go into the Jewish encyclopedia, it tells you that it was the place that Columbus said that's noted for it to be America.
Arzareth,
Where
yeah.
Arzareth,
Yeah.
where the 10 tribes came and was supposed to keep the laws of Moses.
Okay, just Google it. It'll say Columbus recognized this place as Arzareth.
Right. The America as Arzareth.
Arzareth, yeah.
Right?
It says, well, I got a little more lucky. It says that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
Right. They never kept the statutes. And that's where we're at to the day, this very day. What did they do? The Day of the Dead. The Lord said, don't worship the dead. The Lord said that He's the Father, the Lord of God of the living and not the dead. So what are you doing? Issachar, what is going on? And now you want Jake to come out there and help you? Well, they already Jake Black. Black already mean dead. We only all be out there dead. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta, and the Lord has got a spirit, and the Lord's about to lift up a standard, man. That hey, man.
If you don't mind, I just want to.
No, that was the point.
I just want to do a quick call. And Deuteronomy 25 and 19 again out of the NLT. It says, therefore, when Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, your power has given you rest from all your enemies in the land He has given you as a special possession, you must destroy the Amalekites and erase their memory from under heaven. Never forget this.
Man, hey, you must erase their memory.
Erase their memory
Man,
from under heaven.
man.
Like, you remember it used to be?
But warlike energy.
Nope.
Nope.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Obadiah, get to Obadiah.
Okay. This is Obadiah chapter 1 verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, says the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, concerning Edom.
Hey, that's him. Esau, Edom, right? The descendants of Esau, right?
We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and in ambassador Khan is set among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us arise up against her in battle.
Right. Hey, see, and that's what's gonna happen, man. See, the Lord is gonna allow this thing, not just the nations. You're gonna basically force Jake to have to fight back. and the Lord's gonna put a totally different spirit on Jake, man.
Mhm.
Right? And it's just not gonna be what you thought it was, man.
With warlike energy.
With warlike energy, right? Hey, but
Verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire.
Mm.
right, see, and Jacob gonna be a fire, bro. Hey, and hey, even that when you talk about a spirit, because when the Lord, don't the Lord talk about the angels being ministers and spirits of fire,
Right.
right? So when they put that fire up, man, bro, Jake is gonna be, man, it's gonna be a totally different scene. Even the Lord said that if the place already be kindled of fire, what if it already be kindled? What will I if it's already be kindled? And that mean, and you already see, and these are just actors. These are actors, paid actors that's burning up Waymos. Wait till Jake get, man, wait till Jake get to burning up some shit. Bro, it's gonna be a totally different, it's gonna, hey, you seen the riots? Have you seen the riots in Chicago back in the day in the city? They had that, Chicago was burning. Wait till Jake get the, it's gonna be a totally different thing. And these new Jakes, these YNs, oh, they something special, bro. These some Nick, bro. They know how, hey, when it says my people are wise to do evil, bro, they gonna pull out some computer stuff, they're gonna pull out some technology, and they're gonna get wicked. They finna show you they know how to get wicked too.
Well, even
Right?
Issachar, you go back to the Zoot Suit riots, they were off the hook, man.
Right.
So imagine when they come together.
Together,
to do
yeah.
it, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, because Jake, you got some smart Jakes. I was looking at a Jake in Detroit. He learned how to make gasoline out of plastic. He was showing how it works. He would melt in the plastic, and I don't know what else he did. He took the plastic and melted it and put it down, and he went through and he showed, and he put it in a lawnmower, did like this, let the lawnmower and roll off that gasoline that he made.
Well,
he put the
it's
gas-
a petroleum product.
Okay.
Plastic, it's made from petroleum.
Okay, well there you go. But this was a young Jake too. Like he
found
couldn't
out
be no
how to
more than
reverse
he couldn't be no more
engineer.
than 18 to maybe 20, 21. He's young,
Yeah.
so he's smart. This Jake, he look
Yeah,
about
he
18.
reverse engineered it. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. I mean, that's, I'm not taking away from what he did, but essentially, yeah, those plastic is basically a petroleum-based product, just like your modern day what's the way I could say it so it doesn't get flagged, but your medicine, essentially.
Right,
It's all
petroleum,
petroleum.
plastics,
Yeah,
whatever, yeah.
you know what I mean. That's why it's considered a forever. You can't destroy plastic.
Right,
You know what I mean? That's why they have
Forever
islands the size of plastic.
Yeah.
I mean, the size of Texas. They have,
Yeah.
I think it's like 3 of them, something like that.
Yes.
Islands the
Yeah.
size of Texas floating around because they just can't get rid of it.
But
They
then
can't
even
do
but
nothing
even with
it.
that, it shows you how Esau, when it says that his tender mercies are cruel.
Mm-hmm.
But Jake, he figured out, okay, there's a big pile. This shows you that they give you BS. So if you can, if he's just, okay, Esau's supposed to know, he's supposed to be wiser than Daniel. He knows all this stuff. This is something that Esau could have did instead of charging you hundreds and hundreds of dollars, instead of charging you $5 at the gas tank. All this plastic is around. He could reverse engineer and give you the thing for damn near nothing. Talking about the economy. The economy's messed up. Oh, well, by the way, no, it's so it can jam you up and make you take the Quran, man, because it's about to be famines. So he didn't have it ain't no choice but to lean on him in order to eat. That's the thing he's trying to bring in.
And that's one of the poisons also that he's poisoned the whole world with, because everybody has plastic in them at this point. And, like there's plastic in your testes at this.
You're gonna finish that one. But I still haven't. You got something?
I'm on Jude and plus.
Go ahead, finish that. Finish that.
Okay, then if I may, I'll finish the Revelation.
And Obadiah chapter 1 verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame,
Right.
and the house of Esau for stubble,
Mm-hmm.
and they shall kindle in them and devour them.
Right.
And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau.
Now that's going to be in the kingdom, but we're just giving you the thing that, hey, it's not going to be what you think though. It's going to be something totally different, man. Right?
Yeah, it's after
Well,
you serve
well,
your 1,000 years.
After your 1,000 years, like you
yeah.
serve your 1,000 years, yeah.
You don't get
Yes,
out
you
of it
get
like
wiped
that.
out.
We could jump down to the last verse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Verse 21,
Yeah.
and saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to
Right.
judge the mount of Esau.
Right.
Right.
And the Lord Yahweh shall be the Lord's.
Right.
No, read that again. You read it wrong.
Almost like it's like it. And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion
Right.
to judge the
To Zion one, which means memorial.
Right.
The Lord's not forgetting Israel, starting with the elect. The Lord's not going to forget us, man. Right?
to judge the mount of Esau,
Right.
and the kingdom
Right.
Yeah.
shall be the
See,
Lord's.
then the kingdom.
Then the kingdom's going to be the Lord. Yeah.
So-
He's going to take over this whole entire world. Yeah. It's going to
So-
be back to the Lord.
You saw you're gonna get it before the kingdom set up, and then you're gonna get it
Afterwards.
during the kingdom. Then you're gonna get it after 1,000 years.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it. You're just gonna
Oh,
get
you're
it.
gonna be getting it that whole 1,000 years. It's gonna be hard. Hey, and when you watch some of these different things and the way they treated our people with the utter contempt and disdain, you just you got what you gave coming back. You know what I mean? There shouldn't be any problem with, you shouldn't have any problem with what you fixing to get because you gave it so well.
Check it out. I'll finish this and go right into it. This is Revelation 18. I'm reading verse 4 again. And I heard a little voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people,
Right. That's going into the chariots.
that ye be not partakers of your sins."
Abolishment. Yeah. Because you
And-
know, be taken of our sins, which is judgment, going into Psalms 91, where it says that you should see the reward of the wicked, man.
Right.
Right? And that's ultimately what we're hoping to do. We're hoping to be part of that number that elect, so we will see the reward of the wicked. We not be partakers of that sin, burning in 200 million missiles, that ICBM missile fire, where your flesh will rip away off your skin while you stand, and your tongue consume away in your mouth, and your eyes within your eye sockets, man. So
Yeah.
we try not to receive that.
Yeah. It says, and that you receive not of her plagues. And this is the plague.
That's the
shall-
plague. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities.
Right, and that's what's going to happen. That's what's happening right now.
Mhm.
The Lord is actually, Trump don't know he worked for the Most High. We don't know. This is really because the Lord is remembering the iniquities of this place, of Esau and the 2/3, right? And even us, man. If you're part of the elect, you're gonna go through some bumps and bruises. Nobody escapes without being punished.
Right.
But guess what? The elect is gonna make it.
Oh
Though.
yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That at the end of the day, the elect is going to make it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep. One more verse. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works.
Right.
In the cup which she had filled, fill to her double.
Right. Yeah.
Like the brother said, we don't whatever the things that they did to us, it's coming right back on them, man.
Yeah,
But,
and
you
there's
know,
things that we don't even know.
we don't even know.
We don't remember. We don't know those things. But guess what? As the elect, you're going to be able to remember all those lifetimes,
Yeah.
all those periods. You're going to be able to read the Spirit, read their mind, their thoughts, everything that they were feeling in that moment, that time, and the anger, the righteous anger, because just what David said. He said that I hate those that hate thee,
Right. With the perfect hatred.
with a perfect hatred, right? So with that, and then having that spirit, you're gonna be, man, you're gonna have that perfect hatred, man. You're gonna which is gonna be a righteous anger,
Yeah.
a righteous hatred. You're
Yeah.
not just being like Esau. I hate you. Cause I was watching a thing the dude said, why do you hate him? The dude, like the Edomite he didn't even have an explanation why he hated Jake.
Mm.
Okay, you know what? Well, okay, you hate black people. Why? He was like, cause he's black. I said, you can't make this up. You don't even, because it's so spiritual, going all the way back to the womb of Rebecca. You don't even know why you hate us. It's spirit. It's because it's spiritual, and you're not a spiritual man, so you don't even know why, right? You just hate. You just hate him. You just make. I don't know. He's black. I don't know.
Your
What you say?
name, was it? Your name is Kunta.
Right. No, well, that was his name.
Yeah,
It was his name, but they went to Toby.
Yeah, Toby.
That was his name. His name was Kunta, but yeah, they changed. They changed the name to Toby.
Toby. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I just got a quick priest. Oh,
Yeah,
you got
finish
he's
this.
on something?
You
Okay.
finished it.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau,
mhm,
who for
one morsel.
who for one morsel or meat
Of me.
sold his birthright.
Right. And that's this guy, man. The instant gratification guy, and then he put that off on Jake. Now Jake is instant gratification.
Microwave society.
Microwave society. You know what I mean? And now you're a profane person as your father, the devil, man. Right? Esau, Edom. And now you got to get judged. You're going to allow the rod of the wicked to rest his hand upon you, because you're going to put forth your hand to do all this amount of wickedness, trying to protest, trying to do all these different things, and ultimately not coming back to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And then a lot of you can't come back to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai because you were the ones who denied the Lord, right? Said that you wanted Barabbas to be released. And then you Northern Kingdom, you wasn't there, but a lot of you just did your own thing still. You left the Lord and came here, and you would not. That was is in the Hosea. So they will not turn back to me. I think it's in Hosea, because that's the Northern Kingdom. Fucking, you can get that. Because there's one where it says I think it's in Hosea. Yeah. Because it talks about, was it?
I know Jeremiah 6 goes into it, but that wasn't maybe Judah going into the
No, it should be talking about the Northern Kingdom. When it talks about, because it says it goes to the older sister, Alula,
yeah, I know.
Alula, yeah, okay, I ain't saying it right. No, it's, I can't think of it. No, a whole body.
That's it.
Something like that, yeah, I can't really do that.
You did, yeah, you got it right that time.
And it says basically it goes to how they wouldn't turn back, because like or you can go to one when it says I don't know if the one where it says that Ephraim was more righteous than Judah, because Judah he didn't turn back. That's one too. Because basically Ephraim, once they started sinning, they brought the two calves. They never turned back. Jake, they would sin, then turn back to the Lord, sin, then turn back to the Lord, and then the Lord said that basically Ephraim was more righteous than Judah, because when he sinned, he just went on sinning. Because when you go back into Revelation, when it talks about being lukewarm, the Lord said, I'd rather have you either cold or hot. And that's why he referenced Ephraim to being more righteous than Judah, which you would think, dang, how is that more righteous? At least they did at points in time turn back to righteousness.
But he never divorced us, though.
But he was saying,
Yeah.
yeah, right. But that's the reason why he said he's going to lift up, he's going to raise up the tents of Judah first, just for that reason.
Yeah.
Now that's the reason why he's raised up the tents of Judah first.
He never said,
Right.
leave them alone.
But if not, is you finished?
No,
You know what? I got some here. I found it.
Okay.
What then, brother?
Okay. That's what we do.
Yeah, let me read it. I'm reading. I'll just go ahead and read it in King James. Hosea 7 and 13, the points in 16. It says, woe unto them, for they have fled from me.
Right.
Destruction unto them, because they have transgressed against me.
Right.
It says, though I have redeemed them, yet they have spoken lies against me.
Mm-hmm.
It says, and they have not cried unto me
Right.
with their heart when they howled upon their beds.
But you're talking about the Northern Kingdom?
Yep.
Right,
It says, it says, they assemble themselves for corn and wine, and they rebel against me.
Right.
It says, though I have bound and strengthened their arms, yet do they imagine mischief against me.
Right.
It's-
And that's to this day.
Yeah.
Because you go to the goddamn Catholic church, they got all these different idols, they got all this other stuff. They worship the Day of the Dead, all these different things. They got mischief
Halloween.
when it comes to the Most High. No, I'm just talking about, yeah, that Halloween's, yeah, that's something else too. But
Well, yeah.
main thing when it comes to just worshiping, they don't know. Was it Santa
Maria.
Maria? They got all these different gods, these brujas, and all these different things. that they-
Brujerías.
Brujerías, and you know, all these different things that they want to go on instead of actually worshiping the Most High. Now, those things do have spiritual connotations to them because it comes demons, and the demons work for the Most High, but that ain't the Most High.
Mm.
At the end of the day,
Well, listen, it says, verse 16, Hosea 7:16, they return, but not to the Most High.
right? Yeah,
It
yeah.
says, they're like a deceitful bow. It says, their princes shall fall by the sword for the rage of their tongue.
And that's what's happening right now. You're gonna start getting attacked, and then you're gonna fall by the sword.
Well, check it out. It says, for this shall be their derision in the land of Egypt.
Woo.
And we already have been pulled out of physical Egypt.
Right.
Speaking
Just
about
but right now,
spiritual Egypt.
yeah, right now, see? Right? Speaking it's a spiritual Egypt, and that's the thing that's happening right now, man. Right?
Yeah.
Come on now. You can't make this up. See, the Lord is real, man. The scriptures are real, man. They're speaking louder and louder every day. So there's no escaping Yahweh Bashan Shai, man. At the end of the day.
Yeah, can I read that in the NLT?
Yeah, please, Baruch Hashem.
Hosea 7, and because I want to read it in the King James first, but I'll read it in the NLT now. It says, what sorrow awaits those who have deserted me? Let them die, for they have rebelled against me.
Right.
I wanted to redeem them, but they have told lies about me.
Right. See?
It says, they do not cry out to me with sincere hearts. Instead, they sit on their couches and wail.
Right.
They cut themselves, begging foreign gods for grain
Right.
and new
Yeah,
wine.
exactly.
And-
See, that's perfect. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Because it actually brings it. Because that's what they're doing.
Right.
You know, Maria praying to
Yeah.
Mary and
Right.
praying to Saint Joseph and,
Right.
and all these other things. When the Lord said, when was you supposed to pray to an angel or pray to another saint or something
Right.
besides Yahweh Bashan Shai? Never.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Never. So
Mhm.
you're praying to all these different gods, and then you're celebrating different gods. And you celebrate Easter and Halloween
Just
and
begging.
Christmas.
It says begging foreign gods.
Yeah, begging foreign gods.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what hey, man, go to the goddamn, what you call them, some of these Issachar churches. Man, they'll be in there for hours praying. They'll be really all, like, you see them, Jake's be doing all the crazy stuff, but hey, Issachar gets down too with all this crazy shucking and jiving and doing all this crazy thing, really begging Serapis,
Right.
already going back to Cesare Borgia to really help them.
I forget what it is, but even in Mexico, they crawl they crawl it. Remember that movie over that show Breaking Bad? Remember when they were crawling? I don't know if you remember that part when you have all those Issachar crawling to that temple. That yeah, I forgot exactly what it's called, but yeah, man, they do all kinds of weird
Crazy, weird shit.
Yeah, they like crawl on
On their belly.
Like,
Man, see, that's crazy.
It says begging foreign gods for grain and new wine, and they turn away from me. It says I trained them and made them strong. Yet now they
Right, because
plot
our warriors,
against me.
when you go to, was it Manasseh and Gad, was our warrior, the Lord trained you. And he gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. So
Right.
he trained you in the way, the righteous way to train. And then look, you don't want to even turn back to the Most High. That's crazy.
It says they look everywhere except to the Most High. It says they are useless as a crooked bow.
Right.
So a crooked bow, it
It can't go
nothing.
shoot right. Can't go shoot right, yeah.
It says their leaders will be killed by their enemies, because of their insolence towards me.
Right, and you're gonna know the white man is your enemy,
Yeah,
and the white man
yeah.
ain't your friend.
Right.
You're gonna realize all the little what's it called? The kudos and accolades Esau gave you in the society is gonna amount to nothing. It was only just so you could think that you were better than Judah, right? So you could have that envy and strife between Judah and Ephraim, man, from the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom.
Got a quick one.
I'm a little bit more.
It's a lot.
It says, then the people of Egypt will laugh at them.
Whoa, right? And that's what they're doing, right? Is that not what's happening right now?
No?
These people are like, they think it's they're mocking them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
you're just
mocking them.
illegals and da da da. What did you expect? Did Trump say that he was gonna pack up illegals? Not knowing, hey, you're next. Even you Edomites. You Edomites are next. Because he's trying to find out a way that he can ship off any and everybody who's not following. That's why he's the king. That's why it's called no kings. You think they did that for no reason? That's the left-right paradigm showing you that Trump is basically he's a king.
He's about that life.
He's about that life. He's a king. That's the reason why they're speaking of his third term, right? He went straight over the head of California and then brought it in, which not just California. He had to do that over all because they said they brought in troops all over the country. So that means he went over all the heads of every state
Hey,
by bringing them in. So it means he's a king, a totalitarian king.
and he's been ignoring the judges.
Right.
Judges are giving out commands, and he's like, screw you. You know what I mean? He did that before he even started, you know what I mean, going over the heads of these governors. So he's showing these people he did.
He's the king.
Right. Yeah, whatever you say, it don't matter.
Right.
But,
He's the king of Babylon in
He's the
Isaiah the
king.
14th
Chapter,
chapter.
yeah.
Right. Were you?
I'm done with them.
Okay, I just got a quick one because we were talking about the worship of Mary as well with these Northern Kingdom. This is Luke 11 and I'll start at 27 and it reads, and it came to pass as he spake these things, a certain woman of the company lifted up her voice and said unto him, Blessed is the womb that bare thee, and the paps which thou hast sucked. Says, but he said, Yea, rather, blessed are they that hear the word of the Most High and keep it.
Do them.
You know
Keep
what I
them.
mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do them. Keep them.
You know,
And that's dealing with the hopeful elect.
that Virgin
which will
Mary
be
thing
the elect.
is heavy in the
Eventually.
Northern Kingdom.
Yeah. So they worshiping the mother. Right.
Yeah, dealing with the woman there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Queen of Heaven spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, all day. Go ahead, finish that.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 17. For you know that, for you know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected.
Right, that's Esau. You're rejected, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to keep the blessing, but he's the Most High already rejected him. So there ain't no actually coming back to that,
No.
right? Oh, you get that? He put by Esau.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, you already got it? Yeah.
No, I'll get it. I mean, I know exactly.
Good. Oh, I was like, that's the
Yeah.
spirit. I thought you already had
I was
it.
thinking about it when it was in my
Yeah,
mind.
that's beautiful. Yeah, he put by Esau, man, because
Wow.
2 hours.
2 hours.
Mhm.
You know the heat's on me.
yeah, go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra 3, and I'm gonna start at verse 13. It says, now when they lived so wickedly before thee, thou didst choose thee a man from among them, whose name was Abraham.
Right. Go
It
ahead.
says, him thou lovest, and unto him only thou showest thy will,
Mm,
and madest an everlasting covenant with him,
mm.
promising him that thou wouldest never forsake his
See,
seed.
ooh.
It says, and unto him
his
thou-
seed.
Yeah.
Christians or so-called anti-Christians, right? You anti-Christians. His seed. You
Yeah.
never forsake his
Yeah,
seed.
and it says, what the scripture says, is as one seed, not as of
Many,
many.
right,
So
right.
it's Yahweh Shai, if you can receive it
Right,
in spirit, Isaac.
right.
It says, and thou unto him thou gavest
Come on.
Isaac, and unto Isaac thou gavest Jacob and Esau.
Right.
For as for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, and put by Esau,
Right.
And so
So you've been
Jacob,
already rejected.
Yeah.
You've been or to try to you're trying to claim you're already rejected. You ain't gonna be able to keep it.
right,
Right?
Yeah, they
But this
tell
is
you
this
what-
is all about.
right, Romans 9 says it before they were even born.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
You, oh, damn. So you've been rejected before before you can even
Yeah, before the
speak,
children did
you can do
anything good or bad.
You couldn't even
Yeah.
you couldn't even be a baby. You weren't even an embryo.
No.
You were already rejected, bro.
Says, and so Jacob became a great multitude.
He's still
Yeah.
in the spirit world.
Man. Yeah, he was still in the spirit.
Yeah.
God, he was still in the spirit world, got rejected.
Yeah.
God dang, bro. Beautiful. Go ahead.
It's Hebrews chapter 12, verse 17 again. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
Man,
Yeah.
saw it carefully with tears.
Yeah.
Hey, Father, but have one blessing, Father. Come on, Father. Does I have only one blessing? Come on.
That's me also.
Let me also, Father. Please. Come on. Which, going back into the spirit, it was Yahweh Shai. It was Isaac
Yeah.
that blessed him.
Yeah.
And then later on, Yahweh Shai says, hey, who live by the sword shall die by the sword. So he blessed you with the sword, then turned around and told you the sword is a curse. So, hey,
That's it, man.
you're already rejected, bro.
Yeah.
So, and that's what you're about to come in with your sword, with your different laws and different things. And I had some other ones, but the brother already said that it's already at 2. And so we're gonna let it end it.
Everybody,
You know,
Nobody's shutting you down. Huh? Go ahead.
because I don't know how long your thing's good.
What's that?
Like your which one?
If the spirit's still on, you keep rolling. If not, then
it goes
let's
out
close
and
it
out.
out. Yeah, it's all good.
No, I'm just saying I don't want to mess up your space.
Oh no, it's live, brother. It's not.
Okay.
I'm not taking no
Yeah,
space.
mine takes up space. He's live.
Okay.
We're doing it live.
Oh,
How
long.
much more do you got?
No, that's good. Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good because there was, because of course going into Esau with the laws and the different things he wanted to do, because I wanted to. What is it? Isaiah 33:1. Yeah, because I want to go a little bit into Amalek striking. Remember what I said?
Mhm.
Amalek striking Iran.
Right.
Oh yeah, can I go in there real quick?
Yeah.
This Isaiah 33:1. Yeah, well, you can do it. And then can you get the Ezekiel 38? And
You want me to get Isaiah 33:1 or Ezekiel or both of them?
no, Ezekiel. Can you get 38 and then you get Isaiah
33:1.
Isaiah,
33:1, and then you get the Ezekiel
Ezekiel
38.
30 and 8?
38 and
You said 28.
4. 38
Oh, okay.
For me.
for
Okay,
here.
okay, Ezekiel 33, it's lucky. Isaiah 33 and verse 1. And the subheading says the
38.
distress, this is the distress of Judah.
No, 3. I think it starts 3. Go ahead.
Isaiah 33 and 1. The subheader says the distress of Judah. It says,
Right.
woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled,
Right.
and dealtest treacherously.
Right. So this really is about how they spoiled Judah, right? From Israel.
It's going into, what is this going into?
You said so distress.
The distress of Judah.
Distress. Yeah.
Right,
That's
right.
them. That's them coming against us. Esau.
This is going into, I believe, the Babylonian captivity. Which now,
Well, right now will be Esau. Yeah, the Babylonians.
Yeah.
It was Babylonians then, but now you're the spiritual Babylonian, Chaldeans.
Right.
Right.
And the literal account, because what did we say earlier? That they were the ones helping.
Oh, yeah,
found
helping
us
them,
up.
yeah, helping
So
them.
we ain't do shit to them,
Right.
and yet they took part in what the Babylonians did to us.
Right.
The
Good.
devil gets no pass for none of
So-
his actions.
But basically, I'm even though this is part of that situation, I'm using this for
Yeah.
the situation
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
did over there to Iran, because Iran didn't do a thing to them,
No.
but they struck at them, right? And they didn't do nothing to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, to qualify, that
Right,
we're just
right.
trying to
Well,
qualify.
they
the
claim
scripture.
their proxies are the ones that's doing, but when you look at everything that these devils are doing, they're attacking everybody and then claiming they're being attacked.
Right.
You know what I mean? Since they came into that land. So nobody ever talks about, I think it was what, 1956, when they slaughtered like a couple 100,000 people over there. You know what I mean?
I don't
Israel
remember.
has been,
I don't remember
I
that
forget
story.
the name of it. They people keep bringing it up lately. It was they had, this isn't their first rodeo in slaughtering people. You know, maybe I'll see if I can't find it after I
Yeah, the 15 maybe, somewhere there. 12. It says again, it says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealt treacherously, and dealest treacherously with thee. It said, I'm gonna start over. It says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, shalt thou be spoiled, and thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously. They will deal treacherously with thee.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because that's what ultimately what Iran did. They struck back.
Mm-hmm.
And then they tell them, hey, we got much more. Right? We got way more. And when they struck back with hypersonic missiles. Right? And then they were just shooting, they were saying they was only shooting their stuff from their old inventory. They wouldn't shoot their new stuff. So they got some newly technological stuff that they haven't even used yet. So they're saying you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, let me get this in
Right. So
Actually,
you ain't seen nothing from Iran yet. Or, because they've been working closely with China. You know, China is they're innovative with technology. So China's trading with them and building them up. You got Russia that's training them and doing drills with them, building them up. So Iran is hey, they're ready.
Yeah, let me read it in the NLT. Isaiah 30. Actually, this is a message about Assyria, the subheading. So it wasn't the Babylonian captivity; it was the Assyrian captivity. I was wrong. It says, "What sorrow awaits you, Assyrians?" Who's the modern day Assyrian?
Yeah, it's here.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Who have destroyed others.
Yeah,
It says,
which the Syrians and the Babylonians were like the same people, right? They're very similar people. They're
yeah,
like the same people, but then they're because that's why the thing was that captive with the feathers or whatever it was. That's the Syrians. But when it's taken off and it stands up like a man, that was the Babylonians, right?
Khan.
Yeah, come. So yeah, they're pretty much the same.
It says,
Kind
"What
of
sorrow?"
like Esau, right? When you deal with them being the Greek and then the Romans,
Mhm.
like they're
Yeah.
things like kind of back to back, but it's two different things, but it's the same. It's pretty much like the same. Yeah,
It says, "What sorrow awaits you, Assyrians, who have destroyed others,
right.
but have never been destroyed
Right.
yourselves?"
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen. You Amalek, going all the way to you other Edomites here in America, because you're their backbone, because they're barking at them only because they figure they know that America's going to back them up. But the whole thing with that is China said that if America touches Iran, that they're going to. That's not even talking about what we about to read here. And you know what I'm saying,
I think
who's
Russia's
supposed to already
saying-
back them up, because the scriptures don't say nothing about Moab backing them up, but Moab said they're ready to back them up. If America touches Iran, China said they finna jump in.
I could be wrong, but I think I read something this morning that said North Korea even said so.
Oh no, yeah, North Korea, North Korea said so
Yeah.
too. So hey, hey, listen, we were about to be in a world of hurt, man.
It says, "You betray others, but you had never been betrayed."
Right. And that's what they did. They was trying to, because remember this whole thing was Trump was supposed to get them to go to the table and sign some deal. So they were supposed to be making a pact, being Esau,
Right.
supposed to be signing some treaty and then and trying to make peace or something, all this other stuff. Next you know, missiles are being shot.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened to the peace? What happened to all these different things that you're supposed to be doing? You're supposed to be the top #1 person. Remember, they're supposed to be so smart. You know, they're supposed to be the best people in the world. You know, they'll tell you that you can't spank your children and you can't do this, this, and that don't be the angry black man. But silly, stupid shit, they could fire missiles on apartment buildings with women and children.
Right.
They could fire missiles into hospitals. But nobody can't say nothing. But you know what? You spanking your child and so you can correct them. But it's so that later on they can say, we have Negro fatigue, we have black fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because you weren't able to, you know, raise up a child in the way that he should go.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And it says, when you are done destroying, you will be destroyed. It says, when you are done betraying, you will be betrayed.
And that's what's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I wanted you to get that Obadiah too, because that's an Obadiah too. But finish it. Go ahead.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16. Thou art filled with shame of glory.
No, shame
No,
for glory.
Yes, with shame for glory.
Mm-hmm.
Drink thou also,
Mm-hmm.
and let thy forsaken foreskin be uncovered.
Right, yeah. See, that's about you about to be exposed. Right? And that's what's been happening all over the globe. People are knowing who the Zionists are and what they're really about and how they really about oppressing people. Right? If it's not financially, they're talking going into your country and sending their hit squads and doing this and all sorts of different manner of wickedness, man. Stealing oil and gold and doing all these different things, right? Right? You have to have a Rothschild central bank in every country.
Wow. I was trying to go into Isaiah 33:1 real quick, the commentary, but you know, but it said this. Listen,
Go ahead.
in essence, Isaiah 33:1 is a prophecy of judgment,
Ooh.
emphasizing that those who engage in destruction and deceit will ultimately be subject to the same consequences.
Right? See, and it's a problem. And where we at? Hey, the spirit of Yahweh is the spirit of what? Of prophecy, man. We'll tell you things that's gonna happen before it happens, right? These are the things that's what's about to take place, man. You dealt deceitfully with the world. You lied to the world, right? You have the housing market, and you say if a person buys a house and they do this and that, they'll have it for 30 years. They're talking about going back and changing it and making it 60 years before you can pay off a house. Then they're talking about, no, you know what? You will own nothing and be happy. So you're deceitful above all sorts of things. Just like the mind is deceitful above all things. Hey, Esau, is wicked, man. He's deceitful, man. But
God, I'll start back from the top, brother. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16. But thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered.
yeah. Your shame. You're gonna be seen, bro.
God.
What?
The cup of the Lord's right hand
Right,
shall
yeah.
be turned unto thee.
Yeah. I was shy.
That's right.
And the angels, and look, and the elect, right? And even 2/3 of Jake is gonna have a different spirit, man. They're gonna have a warrior spirit of energy, right?
That's right.
A warlike energy,
God.
right? So this thing is not gonna be what you think it is, Esau, right?
Shameful spirit shall be on thy glory.
Hey, your shameful spew should be upon your glory. All right, get that Obadiah 1 and 7.
Can I throw a couple of those shameful spewings?
Go ahead.
Con, this is Rama
Yeah.
Online, and it says a history stained with innocent blood, the chronicles of Israel's massacres in Palestine.
Right.
It says it started with the mass killing and forced displacement of Palestinians in 1948, continuing through over half a century occupation, repeated military assaults on Gaza,
God dang.
and
Half a century for 50 years.
Yes.
So they've been doing it for 50 years.
So it says, here's a list of major Israeli massacres, so it's plural, and killings that occurred after the British decided in February 47 to terminate their mandate and implement a partition plan for Palestine. You had the Deir Yassin massacre, was a massacre of at least 107 Palestinians. The victims included scores of children, women, and elders.
Right. Going back into their MO.
Yeah. The Abu Shusi massacre, 1948, culminated in the decisive attack that commenced on 13th of May, despite the valiant efforts. Says the initial assault was orchestrated by the Gavanti Brigade, leading to the tragic loss of approximately 60 residents. In 1995, a mass grave containing 52 skeletons was discovered. There were reports of Haganah soldiers making 2 attempts to assault a 20-year-old female prisoner. The Tantora massacre. The Tantora massacre, a coastal fishing village with a population of 1,500 people in 1945, was situated near Hafia.
Wow.
During the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, the village surrendered to Israel's forces.
Right.
However, instead of a peaceful transition,
But you already know.
Israeli forces launched an assault on the village, resulting in the tragic massacre of nearly 200 Palestinians.
Right. Of course.
The Lydian massacre, the Salahiyah massacre,
Yeah.
the Al.
Hey, this dude's MO. Hey, he don't stop,
It's
man.
just continuous, and then they dress it up
Hey.
and tell us, oh, we were defending ourselves.
Can you get that since you have not hated blood?
I sure can.
Right.
Ezekiel 35, 5.
Beautiful, right there. It says, Ezekiel 35, and I'll start at 3.
Yeah, it's going up for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna start a little higher.
Right.
Moreover, yeah, that's where I'm going. It says, moreover, the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir,
Right.
and prophesy against it,
Right.
and say unto it, Thus saith Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee.
Yeah, man. From he was rejected where he was in the womb. The Lord has put by thee, man. You're rejected, man.
Ooh-wee. It's got, I'm sorry.
No.
I just got to think, it says, an ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin has said that a full-scale war in the Middle East is possible following Israel's attacks on Iran.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
But we know it's going to die down for a moment because this mark has to be implemented. So they're going to come up with, but those hooks is going to be put back. They're going to be put into his jaws, man. It's no peace. We're past the time of peace. But there will be moments as this thing progresses, we know that, the more like you said earlier, the Most High holds his word above his name. And despite what you other camps have been pushing, that there's no MOTB and
Right.
MOTB is sin and all this other nonsense. Madness, correct. We understand that it is what it is. You can fight it, you can argue it, you can dispute it, but in the end, it's going to come to pass because it's thus saith.
It's the Lord's
You know what I
Michael
mean?
see it.
Right.
So you're gonna get past the Lord's Michael see it. The Lord said that He's going to try the world.
Right.
So everybody got to be tried by that. man.
Everybody, yeah.
You're not gonna escape that. Somehow you the one nigga that's gonna escape and then just be in a chariot. No,
I kicked the
everybody
puppy today. I said, you people are retarded.
Yeah,
It said,
oh, I'm sorry.
oh, go, no, yeah. Well, just let me, yeah.
No, let's not use them. I just want to go back to something that I said. it says, yes, the Assyrians did conquer Judah, because that was going back to what I was saying.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure what it was really speaking about.
Okay.
It
it's all
says,
good.
in 701 BCE, King Sennacherib of Assyria led an army into Judah, capturing many of its cities and towns.
Right.
It says, while Jerusalem was not taken, Judah was forced to become an Assyrian vassal. So yeah, that was speaking primarily of Judah, even though, because Isaiah did prophesy, about northern kingdom and southern kingdom. But
Right.
that was basically speaking about the southern kingdom. But now that applies, to Esau and what he's doing. So
We saying what?
remember when I was reading Isaiah 33:1.
Oh, okay,
It's because I
yeah.
didn't want to bring out the wrong thing, So I was like looking.
No, but we weren't talking about but I was just using it as a
Yeah,
reference,
yeah.
as a reference to how they
Right,
shot
right.
missiles against Iran,
Right.
and it wasn't provoked.
So I know that.
So
yeah.
if somebody went against them, and I wasn't necessarily about the Southern
No,
Kingdom.
but I did make a statement, so I wanted to
Okay,
make
okay.
sure.
It's all good, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. No, it's better that you did that, yeah,
Yeah.
it's good, it's beautiful.
Says,
Yeah.
and say unto it, thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
Most, that's,
I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Because
right.
thou hast had a perpetual hatred
Right,
and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel
right.
by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Right, correct.
Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee,
Right,
since thou hast not hated blood,
right,
even blood shall pursue thee.
right.
Thus will I make Mount Seir
More.
most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth.
Right, right.
What's that one say? Won't be one to piss against the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
ain't gonna cut all that. Ain't gonna
Yeah,
be
but
none of you
that's-
some bitches
yeah,
left.
yeah. Yeah, that's, one that go out, one that come back in. Yeah, cause you know cause you know how you have, especially with this, with Edomite thing, they have these, the plane system. You got you got the airports, people leave, they come back. You know, you may leave and you may not know what's going on. You come back and be something, things are happening. But it's whether you leave or you come back, hey, you're gonna get destroyed. There's no excuse, right? You're all gonna get the judgment because you know what you did to the Lord's people,
If you
Right.
continue to do.
and you continue to do it, man.
You know, because now you can take advantage of the fact that these people no longer even know that they're the Lord's people. You know, you figure at this point now, yeah, you're ready to implement that MO because these people have no idea. They have no concept.
Right,
You know what I mean? And we're seeing this awakening now as far as our people, everybody, I'm Israel, I'm this, but you're going off. You're rejecting the words of the prophets all over again.
right. The name which is most important.
Right,
starting with Yahweh.
right.
Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is the first and foremost, but then you're injecting everything else. The elders brought out, you're not supposed to have no dreads and all this other stuff, long hair, and then people they get mad,
You know?
right?
And
One of the reasons why what's his name, Alazar left, because he didn't want to cut his hair.
Right.
But then when it comes down to it, you know why he didn't want his hair cut. Because
It
you know.
was a
Yeah,
great,
It wasn't
yeah,
because
great
of
big
yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah.
It wasn't because of the Nazarite
Yeah,
vow.
yeah. No, it definitely wasn't on Nazarite now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Something more like
Hands
something
up.
like a pirate.
Another vow.
Something, starts
pirate
pirate vow. You know what I'm saying? But,
A pagan, another pagan vow. Literally.
pagan vow. A pagan vow. Yeah, another
Damn.
right. A pagan god for pagan. Yeah, man. Wow. Wow, what did he say?
Pagan for the pagan.
Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7. All the men of like
Confederacy.
Like Confederacy.
confederacy, it's like it, have brought thee
To
even to the borders.
Borders, right?
The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee.
Oh, what? That's, hey, you was reading that 30, that Isaiah 33 and 1. Hey, you did all these things, and when you decide not to deceive, you're going to be deceived. When you decide to not
be
destroy, that's when you're going to be destroyed. That's the reason why I believe it's is it Jeremiah 50 when it says the nation will not regard the gold. Can you get that? The nation that should not regard gold. I think it's
Guarding your gold.
gold. Yeah, because
Or
it's talking about.
silver.
I think it's going into the Medes because that's what's going to happen. The Medes, which are the Russians, they're not going to regard your gold and your silver, all this other thing. They coming to attack this place. They're not going to regard your gold or your silver, right?
I think it's one in Isaiah 13 too.
Right? Yeah, it might be one
Isaiah
too.
1 and 13.
But it should be one in, I think, because Jeremiah, is it 50 or 51?
Right, I got one here. Isaiah 13 and 17. It says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them,
Right, oh yeah, that's one.
which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it."
Right, yeah. And that's going to the Medes, basically with the
Medes.
Russians,
Right?
right?
Mm-hmm. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, "Their bows also shall dash the
The
young man
missiles,
in
them
pieces to
ICBM
pieces."
missiles, them ICBM missiles, them hypersonic, because Trump don't like that. Everybody kept saying stop saying hypersonic. Yeah, man. Hypersonic ICBM missiles, man. Hey, that's what's coming, man.
Mm-hmm.
Supersonic.
Supersonic.
Right, yeah.
It says,
Supersonic, yeah, that's what's coming.
it
man.
says, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb.
Yeah, they don't got no feelings, they don't got no emotions.
No.
They're gonna have a tracking location, device, area, it's gonna get launched, and they ain't gonna have no feelings on your children, man. You send missiles to places and things you don't have no feelings whether they're women or children there. Your whole thing is we killed their scientists and their generals, yay! But there were children in that building. There were women in that children. There were old people in that building.
Probably their families, the generals and the,
But they don't give it. Their whole thing is they don't give a damn.
Yeah,
So why
yeah.
should the Lord give a damn about you?
If the
Right?
opportunity
Yeah.
is
Whether
there to
whether
get
it's America or Israel, because you guys are going to be two peas in a pod, because they already said that they call Israel the little Satan and America the big Satan. So yeah, you're in for it, man.
It says, "Their eyes shall not spare children." It says, "And Babylon, the glory of the king of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah."
That's this place here. That's how you know it's future.
Yeah.
That's talking about the future. Did you finish that? Did you find the one that is in Jeremiah?
He got, you want something in Jeremiah?
Yeah, it should have been one. It's pretty much something.
It's pretty much saying the same
Same
thing.
thing. Yeah.
You want it though? I'll see if I can find it.
For the internet. But yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And
Or you could just put the thing, the bowls. Everybody, all the ones that bend their bows, spare no arrows.
and
That's
prevail.
what's about to happen. Try that one. Do that one. Because I thought it should be. But
Let me start back from the top.
yeah.
Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7. All the men of confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
Right, gonna bring you to your end, to the very end, to the border, right?
The men that were at peace with thee have
Right, your
deceived thee.
allies, your things, all these people that are at peace with you, they're gonna deceive you. You deceived, and in your moment you're gonna be like, oh no, I got gold, I got silver. Let's make a trade. Let's have a peace. Let's make a what is it called? I just forgot the thing. The treaty. Let's have a treaty. But they've seen what you do when you try to do treaties. Because what did Trump do when he did the Ukraine and Russia thing? While they were supposed to be talking about peace, they were still giving Zelensky weapons. While they were speaking of peace between Russia and Ukraine. While you're speaking peace with Iran, you sent weapons to Israel, and Israel used those weapons and did they said they did 5 flyby missions over Iran back to back. So these people, they said these people were asleep. While they were asleep, they just started shooting. It wasn't like a fair, hey, yeah, guess what? We finna come and shoot missiles, so y'all get ready, let's fight. No, you did it while they were asleep, while they were in it, and you fired these missiles.
Did you find one? I found one in James, but I didn't find the one in
No,
Jeremiah.
Okay, sorry.
I think that was it.
That was it, that probably one of them.
But I'm gonna grab this quick one out of James real quick, if I may.
Oh, we just go guys, let me finish this one. Let me finish.
And prevailed against thee,
Mm-hmm.
and they that eat thy bread have led a wound under thee.
Right.
There is none understanding in him.
There's no understanding of Esau, and that's ultimately what it comes down to. Trump ain't understanding this thing. He's trying to figure out a way to put America first, save America, and keep his allegiance to Israel, but you're not going to be able to do it. You can't keep your allegiance to Israel and try to save America because it ain't going to work. So you got to choose one or the other, and then obviously you're going to choose to help Israel, and the least of the flock is going to draw you out.
I don't
Right.
think Trump really gives a shit about any of that. I think Trump is the ultimate 50 Cent. You get rich or die trying.
Right?
Because that's all they think
Okay,
he's really
yeah,
trying
let's
to
finish
do
with
is
that then.
enrich himself.
Let's keep.
But
Let's,
yeah, this is James 5, and I'll start at 1, and it reads in the NLT. Look here, you rich people. Weep and groan with anguish because of all the terrible trouble ahead of you.
right.
Your wealth is rotting away, and your fine clothes are moth-eaten rags. Your gold and silver have become worthless. The very wealth you were counting on will eat away your flesh like fire. This treasure you have
Yeah,
accumulated
that's the ICBM missiles.
will
The
stand
ICBM missiles are going to eat away at
your
you
flesh.
with the fire,
Yeah.
man.
Says
Right.
this treasure you have accumulated will stand as evidence against you on the
Right.
day of
Because
judgment.
now that's what everybody's mad about. Because that's why even your allies, the ones that were at peace with you, they realize all you've been doing is, like you said, the
Taking
ultimate, like
us
50
there.
Cent,
Yeah.
get rich or die trying. And that ain't just Trump. That's all you Edomites been doing that. All this has been about your getting money, getting rich, and the gold and the silver that you're gonna have. Nobody's gonna regard that. Hey, look, we don't want your gold. We want your silver. We don't want your partnership.
What's your life?
We want your life,
Mhm.
right? We've already showed we can live this life without you.
Yeah.
We've created the bricks, and we're doing good. So we don't need you.
Yeah.
So if they would have created the bricks and it didn't work out too well, which is unfortunately it kind of sucks. But that's life too, because it's crazy how if it didn't work out, you would need me, and then you would deal with me because you need me. But when you don't need me, you're like fuck. But that's life. That's how it works.
And-
Unfortunately,
and even
once
though-
they realize they don't need you,
Yeah.
it's fuck you. And that's
even-
that's where they're at. That's the sentiments of everybody else in the world. They got this thing with the bricks and everything is working. They don't give a damn about you now.
Hey, and even though it's working out, it ain't y'all turn either.
Yeah, it's still it's still ain't turn.
Yasharala is next.
Right.
When this place goes out, bricks goes out, all of your shit goes out.
You got one?
Yeah, if I may.
Yeah. And then can you get the flocks and draw them out and then we'll with that.
I probably there's two. You want the one that says against Edom or the one against Babylon?
Well, the one is Jeremiah 49.
49 and
20. Yeah.
That's the Edom and
Yeah, that's Edom going to Babel. You can get them both because it kind of shows that it's talking about here the 7 and 20,
Yeah.
Jeremiah 47 and 20 It's letting you know that it's
40,
Edom.
yeah, 49 and 20.
49 and 20,
And then 50
It's
and
talking about
45.
50 and 45.
50 and
the
45.
50 and 45, yeah.
Let me get this real quick. This is Jeremiah, I'm pretty much there, 51 and 11.
Oh, you can get that then.
It says, he got it. It says, make bright the arrows out of the shields.
Right.
The Lord Yahweh Hashem Yoshai had raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes
Right.
for his device against Babylon,
Uh-huh.
to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yoshai,
Okay,
the
that's might be
vengeance
the one I
of
was
his
talking about.
temple.
That might be the one I was talking about. Okay.
You get Jeremiah 50 and 45, and I'll get to 49 and 20.
I might have been the one else. But then Isaiah is the one when you don't record the gold.
Yeah, spirit of the Medes, because it was the Medes
Medes,
that
yeah.
going into the Medes, but not the modern day Medes.
Medes
what-
are Russia,
the
yes,
Russians.
because they're in that land, the land
In that
mass.
land.
Yeah.
Because we know the ancient Medes were the
We're part of the Persians.
the
The Persians and the Medes, they
well,
were together.
the
they moved
ancient
together.
Medes that were they were the which we call now what the Hawaiians and the
No.
Medes, yeah, the ancient Medes,
They were
Yeah.
Hawaiians?
yeah,
They would be what's
what's
considered.
considered now Hawaiians. And
Oh,
the
they were
islanders.
Persians? I mean, they were,
No.
Japheth?
Japhet,
Yeah.
yeah, Japhet was the land of the Medes, yeah.
Oh. And they ruled with
Yeah,
the
because the
Persians?
original Romans were Japhetic.
Right.
Romulus and
Oh, okay, cause, so
Ramos
then
and
when,
Romulus.
what you call them,
they were
was
taking
more
over.
afraid, cause it said, the dude who ruled over the Persians and the Medes. So which one was more
Darius.
dangerous? Darius was more dangerous? 'Cause one of them was afraid of it.
Darius was the, I think he was the.
Cause remember when they were
England,
ruling, they were
wasn't he?
ruling that thing, but there was one of them that
Let me
was
see.
more afraid of the other one. I don't know if it was the Mede, the king for the Mede, that was afraid of the
I think the Persian.
Persians was
greater
more,
one.
was a greater one. I think that's what I meant to say, yeah.
Yeah.
The one that's greater.
Darius, it says, and Darius the Median took the this is Daniel 5:31, took the kingdom being about 62 old. So he took over the Babylonian kingdom out of Belshazzar's. So it was
And then
Darius.
Japheth.
It was Darius. It pleased Darius to rule over the kingdom. Let me see if I get to the point. It says now, this is Daniel 6 and 8, it says now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing that it's not changed according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not. It says therefore King Darius signed the writing of the decree. It says now when Daniel, let me see, is that what I wanted?
Starting down a whole new lesson.
Number 8.
Well, I mean, we don't gotta get into today, but
Find it.
Oh, yeah.
Get it.
so yeah, the Darius was the Medes, and who was the other? Darius and
I can't think of the other one.
Slovakia.
man, it's in
Darius,
Cyrus. It says I got it. So this Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius, and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian.
Persians.
So it was the Cyrus came after
Darius.
Darius. Yeah.
But yeah, they were saying one was greater, so then which one was greater then?
I'm not sure. I guess Cyrus must have been the greatest. He was the last one.
But I think Darius had what? Darius was the one with 129 provinces or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
He had a
I'm not
vast kingdom. Yeah, maybe that's something for another lesson.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
some more another lesson,
Yeah.
but
But
yeah.
it's a lot of history there.
Right.
Done.
Okay, what was your?
So I'm going to read the 49 and he's going to read the 51 because
Okay.
they're both saying the same thing. But I'm going to pull a your call. This is the NLT. This is 49 and 20 and it reads, listen to Yahweh's plans against Edom and the people of Teman.
Right, yeah.
Even the little children will be dragged off like a sheep and their homes will be destroyed.
Right, because the main thing with this this war with Ukraine, the one who's funding most of the thing, because America came out of the war with Ukraine, and Germany said they're going to step up and fund most of the money towards the Ukraine war. So it said Teman. So Teman is actually helping them with the Ukraine war. and their economic situation is not too great as it is already, but they're willing to keep the war going between Russia and Ukraine.
And that's, and that's America too as well, and it's cunning because America is now they're funding the Europe, and then Europe is, so they're just funneling it. You know what I mean? We're no longer going directly. You take it and then you initiate. Right.
So that people can say, well, according to the thing, so they can be the devil, the lies.
Right.
As soon as he was born, speaking lies, right? That's all it is. Yeah. So we can say, according to this thing, see, we're not doing it. See, we signed these papers saying that we have closed that, but then you've reopened it through something else, renaming it, repackaging it. Which that's basically what we said. Esau, with the gods, the different gods. He's always repackaging things to give it to you a different way, to bring out the lies. Right?
It says, verse 21, the earth will shake with the noise of Edom's fall.
Right, the ICBM missiles, the whole earth is going to shake, man. Missiles are going to get shot to the east. Missiles are going to get shot to the west. America's going to become a desert. Going to be first is going to be the lake of fire and not hell. You're not going to burn forever, but it's gonna burn for some time.
Right.
Which
Along the King's Highway.
Right. America's gonna burn for a long time. Us being Jake, right? We say things like forever, but it don't really mean forever, and that shows you who the Most High is.
That's when you see, I haven't seen you forever, man.
Right.
That doesn't mean that.
It's been forever.
It's a long time,
Right.
man. Period of time.
Right. And that shows you when you realize the Most High, you start seeing it, you're like, that makes sense, because that's like our character.
Yeah.
It's just like the Most High. We would say that. You know what I mean? Yeah, like you said, I ain't seen you forever. Yeah. But it ain't really been forever.
No.
So when he says it's gonna burn forever, it's not gonna burn
It's
forever.
a period of time.
It's just gonna be a period of time. You know what I mean?
And its cry of despair will be heard all the way to the Red Sea.
Right, yeah. So you're gonna be able to hear it, which proves America's gonna fall before Israel. Just so you can hear your help and your cash cow is gone. Because America's always been Israel's cash cow. So your cash cow is going to be gone, and you're going to know it. And it's going to be, and then they're going to shoot missiles on your ass, and then you're going to be
got
gone.
no help coming.
Yeah, you ain't got no help coming.
It says, look, the enemy swoops down as an eagle, spreading his wings over Basra.
That's you got to try, yeah, right. Right. That's how it's
Because
shot.
we know the guy in purple came up with a different theory for that eagle.
Yeah, that's how
Even
it's
the
shot.
mightiest warriors will be in anguish like a woman in labor.
Travail, yep, labor. And pains, and the other one says pains, which is travail. You're gonna feel it, and that's what's happening right now, technically, with this little thing. This is just birth pains. With Trump coming down, this is a birth pain. Now, once you get like a little thing, it's a little birth pain, and then as it keeps going, it goes, and then as you see it, and then it ain't gonna be stopped. It's gonna come. Second Esdras, can you get that? Is it 16? It should not slack a moment.
Oh, the place is not slack.
Slack, yeah. Like a woman. Can you get that out?
Let me see if I can find it.
Did you get that? Would you get that?
No, I got the one from Bill told me to get.
Yeah, go ahead and read it. What you waiting on? What you waiting on, huh?
Take it forever,
Andale.
Jeremiah chapter 50.
Rapito.
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai,
Mm-hmm.
that he hath taken against Babylon.
Right, and it's showing you this America or Edom is synonymous with Babylon, right? But
And his
Purpose.
that he had
purpose,
against the land of the Chaldeans.
right? Yeah, that's this witchcraft that they're doing with the media and the news and all this stuff that they're trying to show you. These people throwing stuff, but really those are Edomites, man. They got nothing to do with Issachar, but they're gonna come up against Issachar.
Yeah,
Right.
because we know they got them prosthetic masks that they use already.
Right.
Elder Malcolm brings that out all the time.
Right?
guess you can see I watch him a lot because I'm always bringing him up. But it is
Right.
what it is. The brother makes some tight videos, you know,
Surely the least.
edifying videos.
Yeah.
Nah, you good. It's a lot of my I'm gonna make it.
Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out.
And that's Amalek, right? The one that the Lord said, hey, you gotta block, do not forget to blot them out forever. The memory of them,
Memory.
right? You gotta blot the memory of these people out. They gotta get blotted out forever.
Yeah, the least of the flock.
Surely he shall make their
Inhabitants,
inhabitants desolate with
right,
them.
right along with, because it's just said that they're gonna hear it at the end over here. You're gonna hear it, and then you're gonna hear. And after that, your habitation is gonna get desolate, right? Because those are two spaces we know is gonna get rocked to what they call it, the kingdom come.
Yeah, Ezekiel 38 tells you that.
Right, that's all I asked the brother to read that for Ezekiel 38. Remember I told you to get to Ezekiel 38?
Did we get it?
No.
Let's just finish.
That's okay.
Let's just finish this.
Okay, we good.
Yeah, we good. You know, we've been going like almost 3 hours now.
2.5.
Yeah, so let's
Over
finish this.
2.5.
Let's go. 2nd Edgar 16 and 39. It says, "Even so shall not the plague be slack to come upon the earth,
Right.
and the world shall mourn."
Right, and that's what's about to happen, man.
Right.
That's what's happening now. Because
Yeah.
Issachar's finally feeling, so now they're mourning, but the whole world is about to mourn.
Yeah.
So we're all mourning.
Yeah.
Everybody got a back pain, illness, something. You're not meets ends meet is not
Right.
meeting. It was the old song "Meeting in the Ladies' Room." They're not even. There's no meetings. Nobody's meeting anywhere. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to
Your
just
finances
You
aren't
think you
meeting
fu-
your bills.
right. Your finances ain't meeting your bills.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
What's his name? Smokey. So you got ham and no burger.
Man.
Yeah, this is the type of thing that's happening right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kool-Aid, no
Like
sugar.
meat
Yeah,
and
you starting to have that, man.
Yeah.
Things are not. Yeah, they're not coming together.
Not
Yep.
meeting women like that.
It says, "And sorrow shall come upon it on every side."
And yeah, man, on every side, no matter which way you turn, and that's the way Trump and they're trying to set up to where if you do that, you go here, you're gonna have no choice but to just kind of just give in to the hour of temptation, and go ahead and get the charagma, and now you're absolutely fucked.
And
Now
that's
there
why-
ain't no coming out. You're trying to save yourself, and in saving yourself, you damned yourself.
I might as well get 40.
Yeah.
"O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle."
Right, and that's what we've been trying to do.
Yeah.
As the hopeful elect, Lord willing, we could be the elect, trying to make everyone ready, and ultimately, it's to yourself first. You're speaking to yourself. Hey, repent, keep the commandments. Don't be doing all these different things that you ain't supposed to be doing. To yourself first,
Yeah. But that's
and
why-
then to the other people. It's always to yourself first, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to live a way better life, which we are, but. Hey, we gotta level up. This is really that time.
But that's why the scripture says that the wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability, because this is what is going to help us understand what's happening and how to move.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to move before
This
time.
time, yeah. And I
You-
mean,
Branwin, BHI cult. Whatever.
did he just call you black? I said, but you're black.
A BH. What the hell was a BHI?
Black Hebrew Israelite.
Black Hebrew like a cult.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Man,
I
whatever.
told you he called you black. He said you're black.
I'm
Ooh,
block-
you're black, brother.
I'm block his ass.
It's official.
Get the roach spray on his ass.
Yeah,
It says, "O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth."
yeah,
Yeah.
upon the earth. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then that's part of knowing what we're gonna have to do. And the time, like you said, wisdom knowledge should be still the time.
That time.
We're gonna know to move just like today. We were supposed to do camp downtown, We did it here during the brother's shipwreck, but it even still made sense to do it here. So we're not amongst all that madness up there
Right.
during during the time of these protests. Because we don't want to accidentally get a thing, or maybe on purpose. You see what the cop did to that reporter? He turned around and shot him.
Shot her in the ass with that rubber
On purpose.
bullet.
You can see he shot her in the face. It wasn't like he was shooting in an area and it hit. He shot
aimed
at her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't need none of that.
No.
So
You know what that was, though? He liked her.
yeah,
He
he
was
liked
trying
it.
to get her attention.
Right,
Shoot
he
this bitch
definitely
in the
got
ass.
that. He definitely got that.
Yeah, shoot this bitch in the
So with
ass.
all that, yet we want to give all praises and honor and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So thank you, brothers, for tuning in, and you sisters, Akwathium. Lord willing, this was edifying, and for the hopeful elect. We want to give
Yeah.
hold on,
He
you double honors.
was doing it different this time.
Yeah.
Right the other way. All
Yeah,
right,
see?
I got you.
It said, so hopefully it's edifying for the hopeful elect, that Lord willing you will be the elect. So I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, right? That root well and do well, right? To the elder apostles, bishops of Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching the truth with sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, right? To the Israelite foreigners, whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and a Bible ball, Kwame Yasharala. Kwame Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Come on.
Oh,
Can you
God.
hit that button up? Oh, Sean. Boom. And then the X.
Did you hit it?
No,
You
not
can't
yet.
see.
Can't see it. My bad.
Yeah, see, that's why we gotta get up out of here.
Yeah, then my old age is
See your eyes?
running amok. I don't even see her.
Right there in the middle.
Oh, there we go.
And then the X on the left-hand corner.
Okay.